Right.
But that
Succubus.
yeah, well, but that is the reason that all of this is happening because the NFL loves it. Both Travis Kelce benefit from it, and I got to think in some way Taylor Swift. She was already huge, but Taylor Swift probably did as well. So, Ted,
speaking of huge, you see Travis Kelce came in a little lumpy, lumpy.
James Harden,
a little thick around the waist, man.
Well,
Succubus.
Succubus. Well, to your point, there's an article that came out in a Sports Business Journal. And it says, this is so great. It is NFL wives and girlfriends at practice are part of a coordinated content rollout. That's the title of this. I mean, this is right down your alley there, Ted.
Yep.
It says videos of 3 NFL quarterbacks sharing personal time with their significant others on the field at training camp have gone viral in the last week. Justin Herbert with fiancée Madison Beer, Joe Burrow with rumored girlfriend Olivia Ponton, and don't forget, Jackson Dart with girlfriend Marissa Ayers. I had to look her up. She's got like 500,000 followers. She's one of these influencers. It said, these moments, it turns out, are at least partly coordinated. The viral canoodling at camp videos are part of a larger content campaign, a source close to the NFL told Front Office Sports. It clearly fits the NFL's recent efforts to reach women and girls, and it is part of the league's, quote, helmets off marketing effort. Quote, on the league and club level, we engaged our players and families and loved ones for years, said the NFL's senior vice president of social and influencer campaign. Whether it's training camp, weekly practice, or a major event like the Super Bowl, we look for authentic opportunities to highlight our players and the people who are part of their journey. The content is more authentic, genuine, relatable, and resonates strongly with women and young fans who are the key growth audiences for the NFL. As a matter of fact, the source said that they have been, quote, scaling up its female-focused content and will be doing even more in the future. And they said the Bengals declined requests for comment. The Giants did not respond. The Chargers said that they were not planning any formalized content around beer specifically. But if you take a look, they say all Gen Z and professional content creators, Ayers, Ponton, and Beer, are amongst the highest profile NFL romantic partners, only behind Taylor Swift. And Simone Biles also is dating somebody as well. But they said collectively they have more than 70 million followers across Instagram and TikTok. And that post you were talking about, Ted, the one with Madison Beer and Herbert canoodling and doing all that ended up getting 500,000 likes on their official account. And according to the analytics, that's 10 times more than the average NFL Instagram post nets.
Damn.
So the teams are now like encouraging this and putting it out there, and everyone wins. So this seems to be, as you said, Ted, it's not like before. I mean, the one thing I keep thinking about is Jessica Simpson when she was dating Tony Romo and they showed her up in the booth. But now this is like everyone is like, it is a coordinated effort to get these influencers on the field with these quarterbacks and then official accounts to blast it out there to try to get more eyes on the NFL.
Wait till they bring Rossini back and just have her going to games randomly.
Can you imagine?
It would boost their following.
Can you imagine? Oh, my goodness. How many likes if she's rubbing her fingers through Vrabe's hair?
Oh,
can you imagine? Oh.
I think we saw some of those photos, but they were from a couple years ago.
Yeah, they were from a few years ago. By the way, that whole investigation just kind of went away, huh? Like,
done, huh? Amazing. Disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tony Farmer, be damned. He's still trying to keep this thing going, but it's fading, man. It's a non-story. I don't think it's gonna come up before they play the Seahawks in a couple of weeks. This story is donezo, baby.
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later she's going to find a gig somewhere, and she's going to talk, and then it's going to come back up for a little bit, but then that's it. Like, I really don't. Now it's like it's over. The pop's done. You know, it seems like everything's kind of going in the right direction, unless this fake investigation of themselves, which is so stupid that the Athletic is investigating the Athletic, unless something comes out to where her information steered a team out of like spending millions of dollars because of falsely reported injury, because Vrabel said one thing to try to, you know what I mean? Like, if it affected some massive trade,
right?
Then
it's going to be hard to pinpoint that unless there's like a direct report. But Vrabel sneakily, his succubus was the offseason, so he's overcome that in time for the season. It actually worked out perfectly, the timing of it, you know. Got it over with during the draft, and boom, he's back on the rails.
I think he would have rather that not have been a huge social media thing, unlike the other ones. I think that's
sometimes,
a little bit of a difference. All right, 617-779-7937. We got a big game tonight over at Fenway Park. Rafael Devers is coming back, and so is Marcel Lamar, which I actually didn't even remember until someone mentioned it earlier. But yes, Devers will be back. Will there be booze? We'll talk about all that and take your calls. 617-779-7937. Back in 2 minutes.
I'm Piera Palazzolo.
Well, in the feed, brand new 3-game series with the San Francisco Giants. It opens tonight, 7:10 first pitch, 6:10 pregame with Arcand, and it's all across the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Sonny Gray opposing Logan Webb. The return of Rafael Devers. He is in the lineup, batting second, and your DH tonight. And, of note, Trevor Story going to be in the lineup for AAA Worcester tonight. And that's what's in our feed at WEEI and WEEI.com.
Rich and Ken with Ted Johnson. Boston Sports Original. WEEI.
It is 93.7 WEEI. Rich Certainly, Ken Laird, 3-time Super Bowl champion Ted Johnson, and you. We'll take your call, 617-779-7937, as we look forward to tomorrow night's preseason game between your New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles, which I don't understand Josh McDaniels' hesitancy to say whether or not Drake May is playing or not.
That's not his job. He doesn't want to, that's that head coach's job, Rich. You
Okay.
don't want to. I think that's why because he's not at liberty to. I just think Vrabel would be like, dude, why are you? That's not your job to say anything. So that's my take on it. What do you think?
It makes sense to me. It's hard to believe they wouldn't have a plan by today, right?
I mean,
they would.
Yeah.
You think do you think it's more likely he plays in this game? He didn't play in the first game. I don't think he would play in the second game.
So
I remember when it was when it was 4 games, the third game was always the one that you got the quarterback, right, the starter. But with the 3, how they do it now? Are they playing the third one? I forget. It's like usually when does he go out there?
It's honestly changing, and you hear these reports they're going to go down to 2 preseason games, which makes sense. And then maybe they'll mandate these joint practices, but it's very weird. Yeah. You had like Saquon Barkley talking about how much he hates the joint practices, but then again, he's like a veteran guy who doesn't need to make teams. It's the whole NFL preseason is a mess.
I think, Rich, every team does it differently. There's no kind of it used to be. There's 4 preseason games. You play starters play the first quarter or a couple series in the first preseason game. Then they bump it up to a quarter and a half, and then the third preseason game you play the first series into the second half, and then the fourth preseason game you don't play guys at all. Now, I mean, there's teams that don't even play their starters at all in preseason, and because they're doing more of these joint practices. So my guess is you will not see Drake May at all in tomorrow night's game.
Well, Jackson Dart got jacked up in that preseason game. You got hit in the didn't he get concussed? I think they had to sit out for that. Wasn't that what they were saying?
I don't know about that, but I mean, I'm sure we'll get a lot of Tommy DeVito. And by the way, we're going to get some Tommy DeVito Monday on Patriots Monday. We're going to get to talk to Tommy.
Okay.
What is his name? 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz. Yeah.
No more Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, just I know we're going back, but what did you guys think of his performance in that first preseason game?
He started awful. He missed a couple throws early, and then he started to hit a couple. As Kyle Williams had the big catch down the field. He looked okay.
It was odd because he had a few plays in a row where you're like, okay, boom, 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 and comebacks, and then there's like, dude, that was a terrible throw. Yeah. So I don't know. I think all in all, I think he's going to be a more than serviceable backup. I don't think he's, a guy that you kind of just start looking for his replacement. I think he's going to be okay. But there were a few plays that I was kind of like, what was that about? But I think he's performed well in this camp and in these joint practices, Rich.
What do you think about actually, Jackson, do you have the Saquon Barkley clip? Because I thought this was interesting when he was asked about joint practices and kind of how, the whole view on the preseason seems to be changing, as you were just mentioning, when it comes to star players. Jackson, if you could play that Saquon Barkley clip, if you wouldn't mind. This is just from, I believe it was either earlier today or yesterday when he was asked about this down at Gillette.
I hate joint practices, to be honest. I think one day's good, but we play in a ego-filled sport with a lot of men, and I'm all about just putting the work in. It's good to go against someone new. I think we're at that part of camp where we needed to go against a new face. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of joint practice. More times than not, nothing good comes out of it. Like, you get when you have the work, it's good, but then you get the pushing, the shoving, and someone say this about you, and I'm like, oh no, but I'm not that. You're this, and just like, it's immature when we get to that level. I gotta do a better job too, because I'm a little troublemaker sometimes. But I was good this week.
Little troublemaker. I like that. You know why he says one day is good? Because what happens is, somebody gets you pretty good in that first one, and then they want to retaliate in the second one. So the coaches are all night. They're looking at film and like, oh, okay, you're gonna let this guy chump you? Okay, all right, and then so you see more fights in that second one. So I do think probably if you're gonna do this, just one is probably better. But you get used to practicing against your guys. You kind of take care of each other in practice. Where these joint practices, it's survival. That you don't know the guy that you're playing across what his intention is. You assume he's there to knock your head off. So it just raises the stakes, and I think there's more opportunities to maybe somebody to get hurt in joint practices, especially if there's 2 back-to-back.
Well, Marcus Spears was on ESPN today, and he said he used to pick a guy on the other team, and they would fake a fight so they would end the practice early.
I like that.
It's like
that's
guys
smart.
are trying to outsmart the system.
Dude, that's smart, actually.
Sure. But if I was a coach, I would love it. I would, how else are you going to figure out who is playing well? You got your best against their best.
Yeah.
It would, why wouldn't you love these joint practices? I mean, I guess you don't want somebody to get hurt, like you're saying.
Yeah,
but
but listen, football's a dangerous sport. You're either going to get hurt there, or you're going to get hurt later on. I just know that Jackson Dart thing I mentioned, by the way, he ended up getting put in the tent after a hard hit that he got from the safety from the Vikings, but he ended up going back in the game. But they checked him for a concussion. But yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, listen, you got to, but he's a young quarterback, so you got to put him out there. The whole thing with Drake, listen, who cares? I don't really care if he plays in the preseason. Nobody cares, I don't think. I think we're all just selfishly would love to see him sling it out there with A.J. Brown, but I think we're just going to have to wait. Now, is Christian Gonzalez going to be on the field with them when week 1 starts? As we continue to count down, and I did hear Devin McCourty talking about how he believes it's going to get done, but it's just all in the language. But the language is important. Like the language is the money. You know, like I heard him say it. Yeah, it's pretty much good. It's just the way that it's written. It's the language. I mean, that's literally the contract. It could mean whether or not he gets like half the amount of guaranteed money that he wants, or whether he ends up getting some clause that's thrown in there where he doesn't get anything if he's not on the field for a certain number of games. It's everything at this point, and that's obviously what they're fighting over.
Well, Rich, I'm confused too by the upfront money. Like Ted was saying yesterday it's about that first 2-year money. Like what the number you hear is not all guaranteed. Well, then why even say it's guaranteed if it's not guaranteed? And do the Crafts ever do first 2-year money? Do they ever do that?
No. Why do they say guaranteed? It makes the agent look really good. They want the agent wants those numbers out there because it makes him look really, really good. If those numbers are, out there, and even though they're misrepresented, no one knows that. It's like they are guaranteed but they don't put if you're on the team weeks, years 3 and 4. It's very misleading when they say fully guaranteed.
And Curran yesterday trying to make the case that Witherspoon's as good as Gonzalez. That worries me. That's the way the organization feels about it. And if Ted's right, Rich, and they don't do front-loaded contracts, I don't think this is getting done. I just don't. I mean, we have a lot of time left. We do have 2.5 weeks. But didn't you think when Witherspoon got done over the weekend, this would be done sooner? If it's going to get done, it was going to get done late in the week, at latest.
I mean, I thought you'd be looking at like a week. Yeah, right. Like after that was done, the framework is there. You know what the market is. You know what they're going to pay. And to Ted's point, Gonzalez is worth more just because he doesn't have this massive defensive front in front of him. Like Christian Gonzalez is doing way more work on this Patriots team to hold it down than Witherspoon is doing for Seattle. So he definitely deserves more.
PFF just had a ranking of all the secondaries in football.
I'd be showing the Patriots that. Oh, by the way,
the Patriots were number one of all 32 teams, but I bet you they're not number 1 in the front 7 if that list comes out.
Definitely not.
Oh, no.
No.
I thought the Madden ranking was enough. I thought being number 1 in Madden was, all you needed to end up getting, a ton of cash. Right now, listen, I hope that Robert Kraft feels offended that the world thinks he's cheap, because if you don't get this done, you're cheap. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that you guys think that they're going to turn on Gonzalez. I don't believe that this agent's going rogue and asking for $1 zillion more than Witherspoon got. It's the same agent for 2 guys in the same position who are fairly comparable.
If the contract doesn't get done, Rich, I guarantee somebody, aka our guy Adam Schefter, is going to leak out what exactly the team is, what the player is asking for.
Yeah,
and how egregious the ask was. Don't you think that's?
I mean, there are already kind of leaks out there. I mean, Bedard, I think Burt Breer a little bit to some degree.
Right. They haven't called Adam yet. They go in low level, and then when they really want to get the numbers out there, they call Schefter, and he puts it right out.
Yeah, and Adam's going to say that because I guarantee you it right now. As I said, if we had to choose between whether you think that this agent of Christian Gonzalez is going rogue and asking for way over market, or if the Patriots are being cheap, I'm going to go Patriots are being cheap every time, because one's got a pretty good track record of it. The numbers say they are cheap.
If they are offering him the Witherspoon deal, basically, like somewhere very close to that, or maybe slightly higher, if you're Gonzalez, should you take that? Would you take that?
Yeah.
Or do you hold out for a significant bump because you think you're that much better?
I mean, it would have to be front-loaded like his – I mean, you're talking it would have to be similar. Like if they offered him – let's say they offered him the exact same deal, but then they threw in $5 million extra – that over the span of it, which is kind of what they're looking at. Yes, you take that deal. That's what the market dictates. Take it and run, and go from whatever you're making now to $34 million a year, whatever that ends up working out to be.
Okay, and then if he doesn't take it, then is he being greedy?
It depends on what he's asking for, but as I said, right now we don't know what he's asking for, and if I have to just pick out of thin air just from track records whether they're asking for a lot or the Patriots are being cheap, it's the Patriots being cheap.
I'm trying to mousetrap you. So when we get the numbers out and he doesn't agree to it, then you're going to shift to feeling like Gonzalez is greedy, and that's when the Crafts win.
Yes, Ken. If it ends up that he's asking for $60 million a year.
No, not 60. 35, 36, 37, somewhere in that range with a lot of guaranteed
fair.
money.
35's fair. That's
that's
fair
$5
money.
million more than the current guys are getting. I
just said that for $5 million more.
So 31.
Okay.
AAV. Yeah. Average per year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No question. All right. By the way, Rafael Devers just spoke.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you been seeing some of the comments that are coming out?
All I know is that
we have him.
Stiz is off work today. All right. Stiz is like on vacation.
Yeah, he's
fuming. He's still pissed. He's texting us like, look at this guy. Can you believe this guy?
He's in the scrum. Look at him down there with the microphone. Stiz on his off day. That's awesome.
Unbelievable. All right. We will play Rafael Devers. You know, there's a lot of talk about whether he's going to, get booed when he gets here. All I know is that this is just, I am fascinated. I'm fascinated with the reaction of the crowd. I'm fascinated with how Devers is going to act when he gets back. We have audio. Rafael Devers speaks about his homecoming, and we will play that right after this.
Johnson on WEEI.
It is 937 WEEI. Rich Shirtley, Ken Laird, Ted Johnson, and you and your calls 617-779-7937. And broadcasting from the Ford Clubhouse Fenway studio, brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Ford, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, and that dirty water. And returning to Fenway today, Mr. Rafael Devers, who obviously was a very prolific batter here. It was, I think, what, 10th most amount of home runs. Is that what it is in Red Sox history?
Home runs. Honestly, you look at his stat line, it is kind of impressive. I mean, he was not the 10th greatest hitter in Red Sox history, but over 9 years he was a pretty solid hitter, no doubt about that.
Without question. And obviously there was 2018, and then there was the way things ended, which ended with a lot of, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I know you need me to do that, but I'm not going to do that. And then Craig Breslow essentially said that something was amiss here, I believe, when he was talking about the culture in the clubhouse. And, of course, Rafael Devers ended up getting traded and then immediately did what the team had asked him to do, and that was play first base when he went over to the Giants. So he returns for the first time tonight. And, there's a lot of questions about whether you should boo the guy, whether you shouldn't boo the guy. I personally think that, it's cheapening the boo. Like, he's not a guy that deserves to get booed. He's just a guy that doesn't deserve to be praised. Listen, he was played his ass off when he was here until he didn't at the very end, but he didn't, he didn't like end up hurting anybody on the team. The boos used to mean something. There were guys who earned the boo.
Clemens
like Roger
earned the
Clemens
boos.
coming back in a Yankees uniform, A-Rod, Matt Cook, Kyrie Irving. I mentioned these before, but Rafael Devers. Listen, the relationship went bad at the end, but he embarrassed Garrett Cole here. He played 1,000+ games for the Red Sox. At some point, boos need standards. So, but Rafael Devers nonetheless talked to the media. And Jackson, if you happen to have any of it, I would like to hear his translator and what he said. So let's go.
What do you think the crowd reaction will be like tonight when you come to the
Como lo
play?
dije anteriormente, no sé, nunca me ha pasado por eso, no tengo ni duda de cómo va a recibir, si me van a boo o si me van a aplaudir, no tengo ningún tipo de experiencia.
Like I answered before, I don't know what to expect. This is my first experience. I don't know if they're going to cheer. I don't know if they're going to boo. So I really don't have an answer for that.
Who are you most excited to see over there?
Okay, you can stop it there because it's going to take forever to get through all this. It's like, I actually have the transcription here. I might as well. If someone else is saying it, I might as well say it.
Yeah, cut out the Spanish.
Sure. So Rafael Devers was talking about how he's going to be received. He said he didn't know how it would be. He didn't know if he'd be cheered or booed, but he did thank Sox fans for the support through the career and said that he always played hard and put in 100% for them. Interesting. And then he said he didn't want to think much about the past, particularly how his Sox career ended, but he did say, quote, "You learn from your mistakes." Mm-hmm. So the end of it there does sound like he probably realizes that he was a little bit of a, what do you call it, donkey nut hole, at the end of it.
That's right. His first step is admission, right? Admitting you have a problem.
It
so
is.
Good. He also said he had no regrets, though. So if no regrets, not exactly like he's fallen on the sword here. But again, to support him, Cora definitely screwed up. I believe Cora even admitted that.
How did he screw up? Exactly.
Cora did not tell him that they were going to bring Bregman in. And he didn't, until they signed Bregman, tell him that they wanted to move him off third base. Now, first base came later, but they said initially when Bregman was signed, we're not asking you to play. We just want you to DH. You don't have to move positions. And then they changed that again later because Cora had sort of boxed himself in by telling him they weren't going to ask him.
And you think
to move
Devers was an accomplished enough player and an important enough player that he deserved to be, I don't know, told all these things ahead of time?
Yes, they should have looped him in. He was the face of the franchise at the time, right or wrong, and they should have looped him into their negotiations with Bregman beforehand. And if they were going to move him the first down the road, if there was any shot of that, they should have been honest with him.
The thing that shocks me the most, though, was that, Ted, you said it best. They asked him to do less work, and he wouldn't do it. Like, hey, man, be DH. And he's like, no. And
He did. No, he did eventually. He didn't participate in spring training much, which led off to a pretty bad start to the year. But he did eventually play DH.
But at first he was like, why are you being a butt about that? And then they ended up, asking him to go to first base, and he said no to that. And then immediately, once he goes to the Giants, he's playing first base. It just seemed like he had some sort of thing like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm a star.
Yep.
And I think that, and that's why, and I'm not trying to say he's like this, but that's why I almost like that Roman had to go through what he went through this season. I'm not going to compare the attitudes of the both because I don't know about Roman, but I do know that he was the chosen one at the beginning of the season. He was the face of the franchise. And sometimes it takes you being able to look at the team that you're not with and watch them do great things without you that humbles you to the point where you come back and realize, hey, man, it's not just me. I'm on a team. I'm on a team full of guys, and we all got to pull our own weight. And when it comes to things like being asked to play a different position, if you want the team to win and you don't want that people to have the impression that you're a selfish a-hole, then you got to do what it takes. So
that's a good theory. I mean, I hope that's true. Maybe you're right. I mean, that's like sort of what Ted went through under Bill Parcells, right? Like, you loved his coaching. He was tough on guys, and then he'd break you down and build you back up. So Roman has had that happen to him sort of accidentally.
Yeah, before I throw flowers towards Roman, I want to see if he actually uses what happened, these last couple months, and learns from it and actually comes back a better, player for it. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the hope. And I do think, however, that when he arrives, he's not going to be an issue as far as attitude is concerned. There's no possible way you can be. I mean, he's like a young guy. He's got these alphas in there like Contreras, who you heard what he said when apparently we were the ones who informed Contreras that Roman was coming back. He's like, I didn't even hear that he was going to be in Portland. And he was like, but he better be ready. And so can you imagine walking into that clubhouse and Contreras is sitting there, like expecting you to don't F up what we did for the last couple of months. We got a good thing going here. Don't be the cocky a-hole coming out and just, trying to take over the culture of the clubhouse, because you need to adapt to us. We don't need to adapt to you anymore.
I wonder if they'll say anything to him. They're just going to give him like the cold shoulder, like pretend he's yes, he is a rookie. Pretend he's a rookie and just don't even speak to him.
They're going to be
the first home run.
They're going to be cool to him. Yeah, they're going to be, because they need him. They do need him, and they also probably understand the position he's in. I do think that Contreras, for as much of a hard-ho he kind of is, I think that he gets it. I think he gets that if you want this guy to be effective, you got to take him in. You need to hold him to a high standard, but at the same time, you need to be a little patient with him, because especially Contreras, with what he's going through right now, with all being banged up all over the place, you would think that he would also understand that he's not going to be great instantly, and he's going to take a little bit to ramp up. But I think you can notice whether someone's taking this return seriously, or you're jacking around and being like the guy said, going to Locals Taqueria in the Southie and hitting on all the chicks. So I just kind of figure I think this is going to go well. I think it will go well when he returns.
Is Contreras the undisputed leader of this team?
I asked Tracy that a couple of weeks ago, and he said yes. He is the heartbeat of the team.
I would say yes. From where I sit, it seems like he is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I thought when you asked him that question the other day, Rich, his response, or not ask, or just let him know that, hey, by the way, I thought his response was measured, and honestly, it was kind of like, man, if I'm Roman and I'm listening to his response, I'm like, dude, I'm not sure, that guy's really excited about me coming back. But it was like he's going to be watching me when I come back, so I got to make sure I'm doing what I need to do, so I don't get the wrath of Wilson Contreras. So he's clearly, I think, the way he spoke about Roman Anthony coming back to me made me feel like he is the leader of this team.
Let's go to Jim in Wakefield on line one. What's up, Jim? How's it going?
Okay, guys, listen. You know what? I've been driving around listening to you, and you're forgetting certain aspects of what happened when all of this went down with Rafi Devers. Rafi Devers, they won. Okay, they bring in Bregman. They want him to DH. Okay, he wants to DH, and then Cassis goes down. Now Cassis goes down. And they're like, okay, now we have a need. We need somebody who is, one, a power hitter and still can play the position. And Devers says, nope, I don't want to do it.
Yep.
So what happens, Christian Cassis, who has been on fire, was batting .400, having a great start to his rookie season, says he offers. He goes, I'll play first base. And Rafi Devers goes to him and berates him and starts yelling at him and telling him he's never to show him up again. He's a lousy teammate.
Do we know that? Do we know? I'm sorry. Did I miss that?
Yes,
do we know that he went over and berated Tristan Cassis?
That was reported. So, yes, we do know that. He was a lousy teammate and a cancer in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Sorry, that's what I always say about my employees. He was a cancer in the clubhouse.
He might have been there, too. He ate a lot of food.
I thought that was some term I'd never heard before, a cancer in the kitchen. No, you literally work in a kitchen. And
I don't remember him ripping Devers or Cassis, but maybe he did. I mean,
I don't remember that. I remember him not wanting to go play first base when he was after Cassis was injured. Yeah, I remember that.
Couple texts on this 603 text. You guys are missing a huge point. He was the worst third baseman in baseball and wouldn't give up his position for an all-star.
That's true. That is true.
That is true.
207 texter, petulant child. He should be booed for still needing a translator after 10 years. I mean, come on.
It's just it happened so fast with Raphael. Like just all of a sudden he was.
People were yelling at John Henry to sign him.
Yeah.
And then months later he's gone.
And I get it. Look, there were some bad decisions he made at the end by and how he portrayed himself was not good. But man, dude, what about the 8 years before that?
Right, we're booing too much nowadays. Like as I said, the boos used to be sacred. They've lost their power. It's like, I mean, listen, he was a dummy at the end, absolutely. But I mean, the dude was really freaking good. Like if you're gonna boo Jaylen Brown, I know that we disagree, Ted. Like when you don't boo Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown helped you win a championship. He was the MVP of the finals. Listen, things ended weird, sure, but things end weird always. They almost never have like the fairy tale ending that you want. Brady ended weird here, but then he got weird afterwards. You know what I mean? It was like it wasn't the ending that made people hate Brady. It's very, very strange how we just continue to throw these boos out when they used to mean something to me. Mm-hmm. All right, 617-779-7937. We'll take your calls because this is interesting. And meanwhile, I'll look up and find out if there ever was he got in his face and he started yelling at him, which I'd never heard anything about that with Rafi Devers. And I guess he was a cancer in the kitchen, according to the man who works at a restaurant. We'll take your calls right after this. 106.7 WEEI. Rich Shirtleaf, Ken Laird, Ted Johnson, live from the Ford Clubhouse Fenway studio. Brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Ford, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and that dirty water. And you can call us at 617-779-7937. We're talking about the return of Rafael Devers and whether or not he's going to get booed when he gets here. Also, Wilson Contreras, sending a message to Roman Anthony when we asked him about what he thinks about his return. First of all, he was just like, he's returning? I guess we informed him this week. But then I thought sent a pretty good message out there, like, we hope he's ready because, this is time for the rubber to hit the road. Let's go to Tony on line one. Tony, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, Tony.
Tony. Hey, what's up, Tony? How you doing, man?
Yep. Good, my friend. I'm calling about, to be honest with you, you guys keep mentioning Contreras as the leader. This guy's a hothead, and Tracy has to pull these guys in a little bit because Duran's out of hand. Contreras, they seem to do whatever they want to do. And I'm looking for Tracy to step it up, show a little balls to keep these guys in line.
Can I ask you, Tony, real quick, what is Wilson doing that's out of line right now?
Well, he's not jogging down at first base. He's arguing with the friggin' fans. A manager has to say, hey, calm down. And he hasn't done it with Duran. He hasn't reeled these guys in. Contreras is a ticking time bomb. I like the way he plays, but he has to tone it down and not be paying attention to what a fan has to say.
Well, Tony, actually, two things on that. And by the way, you're making a decent point when it comes to Duran. I think so. But Contreras, we had a caller on yesterday, someone who was actually at the game and heard the back and forth. And what Contreras was actually doing was this fan had been yelling and picking fights, literally picking fights with the pitchers. And when Contreras came back, he saw this fan jawing off at them and just looked at him. And what he was saying was, "What are you doing, man? Cut it out. Stop. You're being an idiot." So he was actually he was looking out for his pitchers. He was standing up for them, which I do think is something that a leader does.
You know something? You can't be putting lighter fluid on a fire. As a matter of fact, I heard that interview with that girl. He wasn't saying anything out of line. He's calling a pitcher a bum. They're staring him down. This is a manager's job to reel these guys in.
He was picking fights with them. He said he wanted to fight them, which was kind of funny. I mean, it's lame because it's super lame because you can't actually fight the guy.
Well, ask Ted. There's drunks at every game. I mean, who cares?
You're right.
Ted can confirm.
Teddy.
Yes, sir.
How many times were you guys walking off the field and people were yelling at you in Pittsburgh and New York? Come on.
All the time. All the time. You know what? I think he's got a kind of a point, Rich. I mean, there is a, if you don't like some of the behavior from the Red Sox, that is to me the manager's job to say, hey, knock that off, and
Tracy is the one pointing out fans and having them removed. I mean, he's part of that process,
which is awful. Which is awful. We confronted Tracy on that too, and we told him we thought it was awful that he picked somebody out in the stands to get ejected. And to be quite honest, I did call out Tracy when everything was going on with Duran because I said, just tell Duran to just not respond. Don't respond, and it goes away because the minute you do, people knows it gets under your skin. And I guess it's the same. And you know what? To be quite honest, if I'm saying that with Duran, you should be able to say it with Contreras as well. You're absolutely right. But the one part of it, and the one thing that I know a good point that you might have made, Ken, was that is that kind of chip on the shoulder, is that something that makes them great? Do they almost need that to be able to play?
I think they need a little bit of some kind of sandpaper. I just don't think there's a lot of leaders on this team. There are a lot of young guys, a lot of new guys that are from other teams that are new to this team that don't have the just the confidence to take leadership roles, and they kind of need that guy like that Wilson Contreras is to kind of, I don't know, I think keep things interesting. You know what I mean?
He's definitely Redline Wilson. This is when they acquired him. The rumor was he's an acquired taste. Some people love him, some people do not. That's just who he is.
Let's go to John on line 2. John, what's happening, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, John.
Good. 3 quick things, but with Duran, a lot of the stuff he says is never actually proven. And that's my big problem with Jarren Duran is he says these things and then they just go away. and nobody ever has any proof that what he said actually happens. We all see when Wilson Contreras says something, you can see it. Yeah, it happened, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
But, look at Devers was on his way to becoming Pablo Sandoval at third base. I mean, he was getting heavy. He was, the worst third baseman in the league.
Yeah.
The only thing he didn't do was bust a belt buckle swinging his bat. So, I mean, I'm not going to say
it was Pablo.
I'm not going to say he was a bad hitter, but clearly he was 3 years into a 12-year deal, and he was already showing signs that he was no way going to be able to be a third baseman by year 6. So if you're going to bring somebody in to be better and you're not willing to acknowledge that they will make the team better, that makes you a little bit of a problem.
Well, they should have transitioned him to first sooner because he's doing that for San Francisco now, and seems like he's fine.
You're right. There's fault on both sides. Real quick, if Contreras has a brain in his head, he will take Anthony under his wing, if anything else, and stand up for the kid and make sure he falls in line and don't ostracize him, because all these guys know talent when they see it, and clearly this kid has talent. And Ted, finally, please, I feel bad. Ted, call Dino and get Ted into Media-Wise, because I feel like his kid lost a gig babysitting over my comments for Trevor Story. I have a grandson now, Ted. He's 8 months old. If your kid needs a job, I'll get her a gig. But please, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Now she's got no work, and the kid's penniless and broke.
Yeah, you did probably cost your daughter the babysitting.
Oh, I was like, where's he going? Oh, my
Trevor,
God, I didn't.
You said your daughter was babysitting Trevor's Story, and you felt bad that you ripped on Trevor's Story yesterday and said, please don't let it lose her gig because of it.
Great point. Don't bite the hand that feeds. Not probably the smartest. Hey, Trevor, you're a good guy. I don't know. I don't know if you should be coming back and demanding that you have your role. Your old role should not just be automatically given right back to you, considering kind of where you've been and what this team is doing right now.
By the way, we get the people queuing up outside our studios here on Lansdowne Street, Rich, and we already saw one Rafi Devers shirt go by. I see a Roman Anthony out there, it's all the old jerseys are coming back. It's a great feeling.
By the way, to John's point, the one thing about Roman Anthony, like Contreras taking him under his wing, I think that comment he made was like the step number one.
I agree.
You know?
I love John's point on that. I think that's a great call, and that would be. I think Roman needs that. He got that with Bregman last year. I think Wilson. The way he answered that question, it almost made me feel like he feels kind of like he might be doing that. So it's a great point by John, and I hope that's what happens.
And by the way, the previous caller who said Devers had ripped Casas, looking back at it, he probably meant Christian Campbell. There was a report that he was mad at Campbell for playing first. But then that was disputed by Jeff Passan. He said it was untrue according to multiple reports.
There you go.
So just
all right. Because I had never heard any of that. That was completely new to me. So, all right. Well, thank you for checking that out and making sure we get the facts straight. All right. 617-779-7937. We'll continue to take your calls. It is a big day at Fenway Park where we're broadcasting from, and Rafael Devers is back. So is Marcelo Lamar. And
actually, somebody just corrected me that Meyer is not back yet. He's on a rehab assignment and may join the team maybe this weekend, but not tonight. So
okay, all right. Well, there you go. So you got Rafael Devers and a bunch of people who may or may not boo. We'll get to that right after this.
And Ted Johnson on WEEI.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Faith No More. Oh, wow. That is one of those bands where their most popular album is by far the best one. Gosh, Faith No More, that album, the Real Thing album is so freaking good, front to back. It is 93.7 WEEI. Rich Shirtlieb, Ken Laird, three-time Super Bowl champion Ted Johnson. 617-779-7937 is the number that you can call. I want to take this call real quick, because we're just quickly. Earlier on in the show, it was awesome, because on WEEI, right around 1 o'clock, Rich Keefe and Mego had on Josh McDaniels. And it's great, because it is a Patriots Friday, in which we're going to have different coordinators from the team rotating, and Josh McDaniels will obviously be making several appearances during the season. And he was asked about that whole Tom Brady helping out the Seattle Seahawks during the Super Bowl theory that was out there. By the way, leaked out by, insinuated by the coach himself of the Seattle of the Seattle Seahawks, and then Mike Macdonald. And then Mike Vrabel was interviewed about it later on and seemed to believe that that was the case. And so well, let's go and play it. If you don't mind, do you have it there by any chance, Jackson? Let's go ahead and play this. This is Josh McDaniels' response to being asked about whether or not he believes Tom Brady actually helped the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
You think Tom Brady helped the Seattle Seahawks prepare for you guys in the Super Bowl?
I have no idea.
If he did, would it bother you?
I wouldn't have a dog in that fight if that was the case. I don't know. I don't know. What that would or wouldn't have done. And again, I'm sure when you play in that game, there's 2 weeks before the game happens. There's so much that can be taken in terms of information and background and so on and so forth. I know this. What we do and how we do it is really going to end up being the ultimate determiner of whether or not we win or lose games, or that kind of a game, certainly. So I know I didn't do enough to help us win the game, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to compete against them here in a few weeks.
Okay, by saying I don't have a dog in that fight at the beginning, obviously they're pissed. Like they obviously believe.
Oh, yeah.
Vrabel straight up said that he believes they helped him, and then Josh McDaniels, that answer says everything to me, doesn't it, Ted?
Yeah, it does, and I don't mean to. We're still talking about the same thing, but I just want to pivot to what Spillane said about it, and not Josh McDaniels, but just real quick, because we haven't talked about this part of what Spillane said. He was reacted to. He was asked earlier, today about. What Tom said, and he said,
"I have that audio.
We have the clip."
Oh,
yeah.
Well, okay. Let's play that clip, because I'm fascinated to hear what you guys think about this one specific part that he said and answered this question. So listen to his answer, and then let's talk about it.
We'll get you out on this. Right before the Super Bowl, you were asked about the former Patriots quarterback Tom Brady saying he didn't have a dog in the fight, and it bothered you. We never had a chance to talk to you about that. Did that irritate guys in that locker room that the greatest quarterback of all time, who has a statue the size of a house in front of the building, said he didn't have a dog in the fight entering that game with the Seahawks?
It irritated me, and it made me feel sad for him. Spending 20 years here, obviously went on to do amazing, great things, not only on the football field but in the community, and to say that he had no care in the world. It irritated me. It made me feel sad for him. But at the end of the day, that was just my personal opinion. Everyone else has their own opinions in the locker room.
Is that interesting? Did you find that interesting, the part where he says it made me feel sad for him?
Totally.
What do you think he meant when he said that? Like, what does that mean to you?
I think these are young guys who are looking at somebody who should be in perfect harmony with the region he played in, and it's just like, what happened here? Like, this guy is doing what?
Yeah.
Like, who's advising you? Yeah, it's like, who's advising you? And you know what? That's an interesting perspective. I feel sad for, and it's crazy to say that about a guy who seemingly has everything. I mean, he's the greatest of all time in his craft. He was born good looking. He, has tons of money. The contract that he signed to broadcast is zillions of dollars, but they still feel sad because he's apparently surrounded himself with yes men who let him say dumb things like that, and he really has no kind of home now. He's not like a New Englander, doesn't like New England. He's obviously not the whole thing about Florida. I don't even know where is home for him? I don't know. And it's a really sad thing. He seems to have kind of shot himself in the foot over and over again. Yes, yacht. That's right. The
By himself.
Yacht.
Well, no, but it's like when you guys made the Super Bowl in the 90s, you probably had the 86 Patriots on your side. This team, when they went to the Super Bowl last year, were probably like, where are the alumni supporting us, especially the most important one?
I do. Spillane's been here for a minute, but I kind of dig how he approached that answer, question, excuse me. So it's just it was an interesting way in which I think Robert, kind of explained it, but I can get down with it. It is kind of sad that he, after all this time, that he doesn't feel more of an affinity for the area and for the team that he played for and won all those championships with. It's almost like it was just a means to an end for him.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go to Mike on line 3. Mike, what's happening, buddy? How you doing?
Mike.
Hello.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good, bud.
Doing good. First off, great job with the Jimmy Fund. You guys are awesome. Can't believe the number you raised. Excellent job by everybody there.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the donors were
Tom
awesome.
Tom Brady.
Yes.
Yep. I got to tell you, I really don't care what he does in his own personal life. What mattered most to me, and still to this day, is what did the guy do on the football field? He brought 6 world championships here. That's it. That's all he owes us nothing. And if the truth be told, Mr. Kraft, who always said he was like his son, well, guess what? If he was like his son, he would be part owner of the team. He wouldn't be with the friggin' Raiders. It makes no sense to me that this guy's with the Raiders. They cut him short on contracts. They always got him to take something else. I think that had a lot to do with Mr. Kraft and his own personal beliefs, and that's what happened. But he was a good guy here, whether he was in Boston or New York. Who cares? He performed on the field. That's the bottom line with me.
All right, Mike, let me ask you this before you go. I want to ask you this. To me, the place where I saw the most people do a 180 on Brady was when it was revealed, and Vrabel believes it, and it sounds like McDaniels does as well, that Brady might have given inside information to the Seattle Seahawks against the Patriots in this Super Bowl. Does that change your mind at all about what you think of Tom Brady if he indeed talked to the Seahawks and gave up the secrets that he would know because Josh McDaniels is the guy setting up the offensive plays?
You know what? It doesn't make a difference to me because of the fact he really should be with the Patriots as an owner of that team. So they dumped on him. Well, guess what? Turnaround is fair play. So he dumps on the team. He dumps on him big time, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, Mike's making good arguments, though. Don't you?
What about a sequel, 180 for Brady? That's a good one.
I like that. instead of 80 for Brady?
Yeah.
180 for Brady.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think some of Mike's points are kind of like, you know what? He's right. I mean, why isn't he part owner of the Patriots? I mean, I don't know. Maybe, why didn't he get top of the market?
Wait, but do we know he wanted to come back here? If he didn't want to be caught dead in New England living anymore, then why would he want to part owner?
I don't think he's living in Las Vegas, to be honest, either.
Well, he is. Supposedly he's got a place or at least some kind of penthouse suite at one of the casinos.
All right.
The Circus. I think he chose the finest one there.
Yeah. Tropicana.
Yeah. But can you kind of see Mike's points? Like, if the Patriots made him part of this,
if true,
assuming that Brady wanted to be part of the Patriots ownership, and assuming that the Patriots said, "No, we're not going to sell," can you see maybe why Tom might be miffed?
I don't care. As a Patriots fan, if you gave inside information that helped the Seahawks beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, then screw you. I don't care. Fredo. I don't care about any of that stuff. Whatever personal things that you have, you screwed over your Patriots. You screwed over my team, the team that I like. So yeah, screw you. That was and everything else. He's a total weirdo and he's done weird stuff and it's been funny and I've been like, it doesn't matter. He won 6 Super Bowls. But the minute he allegedly did that, that's when it turned for me, and I think it turned for a lot of other people too. I
Al
can't
Davis's
be alone
kid
on that.
Kind of looks like Mo Green too, doesn't it? They have a little similar like Vegas thing going on.
That's right, Mo Green.
That's very true.
Oh man! All right, 617-779-7937. You can give us a call. It is Rich, Ken, and Ted Johnson, and Rob Bradford is going to join us and give us his take on everything that's going on with the Sox tonight with the return of Rafael Devers.
Johnson on WEEI.
I don't have a lot of cause and effect with the manager being the difference here. I don't. Although I think they should extend him. I think
you do. Would you do that now, or would you wait?
They're not doing it because of the lockout. They just don't want to pay him. I can't think of any other reason. Joe Morgan, that interim was wiped out. He won 19 out of 20. And they said, see you later.
It's changing sports. Missoula was wiped out in the middle of his season a few years ago.
I think it's been enough, unless they got some whopper guy we haven't thought of, Earl Weaver coming back to manage for him. I don't know who's out there.
Oh, it is 93.7 WEEI. Rich Shirtley, Ken Laird, Ted Johnson, and another person on the Rich bandwagon.
Not just another person, one of your favorites, your Dan Shaughnessy. I mean, it's like all the classics are agreeing with your take. I'm surprised Grantland Rice hasn't come out and said, I agree with you, Rich.
Listen, man,
let's take that old taggy off. You don't do this to a baseball skipper.
When Shaughnessy's fro says it, then it should happen. So thank you very much, Dan Shaughnessy, and your curly coif. I am a huge fan of his take on that indeed they should get rid of that stupid interim tag. It's dumb, and it's stupid, and there's no reason that they have it. The one thing I don't have any kind of real answer on, and this is something that I'm sure someone like Rod Bradford or could do some digging on, is that, is there a chance that they could go this entire season, not give him the interim tag, and then another team swoops in and signs him and offers him a lot more money?
According to Rob, the digging he has done on it, he is signed through next season under his AAA deal, and that still applies. So the Red Sox would have the rights to him, and in fact, during a lockout, he could theoretically go back and manage Worcester, because that team will play, which is mind-blowing,
Okay, but there's something different about that, because you remember how, like if you have a contract as a coordinator or assistant coach, if another team offers you a head coach, doesn't that, if it's a different position, doesn't that mean that you can get out of your contract? Isn't that what it is?
I think that's maybe it's not a hockey thing where if you get
if you get a promotion from somebody else, doesn't that mean that you can get out of that contract? I don't know. All I know is that if there's even a chance of that, what are you doing? And also, it's just it's a dick move. The guy's earned it. He's absolutely earned being the manager, and right now they're going to eventually give it to him, and it's kind of theater. But if it's theater, then just do it.
I think they actually want to just prevent. There is still a chance they could collapse. I don't want to say it's a good chance. I mean, technically, it's an 8% chance according to Fangraphs, because 92% odds of making the postseason. So maybe they just want to wait till they clinch, and the day they clinch, they'll give him a new deal. I mean, maybe that's something. I don't know.
And then you know what's going to happen the day after? He's going to get an enormous deal from somebody else. Chad Tracy has already proven to Major League Baseball that he deserves to be a manager. And whether it's for the Red Sox or for someone else, next year he is going to be not interim. He is going to be the manager of one of the many Major League Baseball teams, without a question.
I do like him. He's got good qualities. Now, he might be a little soft. We do get that, accusation. He's got to be tougher on these guys. We had a caller suggest that earlier. But I just think he handles things well. He's got a very slow heartbeat. He's pretty good as a public speaker and face of the team. So there's not a lot not to like, just experience. That's it.
Can I tell you something Chad Tracy does that it's one of those weird things that if this team continues to win, he's going to look like a genius. But if for some reason they blow it, it's going to come back and people are going to point at this. After the team was late coming in from Colorado, we actually asked him about this when you had Chad Tracy on this week. Actually, no, we asked Siegler about it. After the team came back late from Colorado and got to play the Yankees, and I think they arrived at 5 o'clock. The team went on this tear, but since that moment, Chad Tracy ended up making the report times for the players way later than almost any other. I've never heard of report times this late. It's 4 or 5 o'clock. Usually when a team has to arrive at the ballpark, isn't it usually around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, it must change, different for each team, but yeah, it's pretty early. Yeah.
But now, according to Siegler, we said, is this a superstitious thing, or was it something that Chad Tracy actually believed, helped you guys play better? And Siegler said it's great for us because, we play a lot of baseball, and it gives us more time to spend with our families. It gives us more time to, be away from the game. So when we show up, we're just ready to play. Now, that is one of those comments that, as I said, could go one way or the other. If they win, you could be like, man, this guy, he's a genius, can get right into their heads. He's like a psychiatrist. He knows exactly what they need and what brings out the best of them. But if they lose, it's like, you weren't taking this seriously. You were letting these guys go jack around with like friends and family and screw around instead of being in there getting their workouts in. And I find it so fascinating because I've never heard of a manager having these report times so late. Like, they're really late now. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, according to the players, it was like 4:30 or 5 o'clock that they can show up now, which is kind of hysterical, seeing that we broadcast from Fenway and we see how many people are there at 5 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. No, I just went out. In fact, I just took a little stroll out in the outfield here, sick brag, at Fenway, and watched a little BP. Jarren Duran's out there throwing a ball off the notch in center, and fans are watching him, and he's doing his workouts. And it's 5 o'clock. It seems like there's plenty of time. Even if he just showed up 10 minutes ago, that seems like enough time to me. I mean, I don't know what. I guess there's cage work, and you're saying like weight room stuff. Is that what you're saying? They need to get in and get that.
Not even weight room stuff, but like the stuff you're talking about. Just I mean, like getting out and doing what they do in the field. I've seen them like taking grounders before, and just getting like some sort of on-field workout in. And I'm not used to this. And to be honest, none of us have played the game at this level, so I don't know exactly how much of that you need to get yourself warm for one of these games. But all I know is that when we asked Siegler about it, he thought it was the greatest. Right, he was like, man, we get to hang out and do more, and we don't have to show up as late. And it gives us more. Run
the asylum, basically, is kind of what it is. But they're not making that many mental mistakes that would make you second guess it, right? If they're like missing signs or being shoddy in the field or whatever, then you would focus more attention on it.
Yeah, I mean, since that moment, I mean, that's when they went on that tear. So, right. I mean, like whether or not that is the genius of Chad Tracy or it's just happens to be a coincidence. And as I said, if they end up blowing it, I guarantee it's going to be one of those things people are going to look at. But right now, it seems like it's working. And it was kind of funny. I like Sigler's just so, yeah, we get to hang out with our friends and family longer. And it's just like not usually what you would hear a polished player come out and say. But, I mean, he was being honest. He was being 100% honest. And he thought that is something that helped this team play better. And my God, it doesn't seem to have hurt him that bad. I mean,
Devers would have loved this. He would have shown up like first pitch. If he By the way, here's a quote Cotillo had from Devers, which I think is very funny, ironic. He was asked how he'd like to be remembered by Red Sox fans. Quote, "I really don't know, but what I'd like to say is that I play baseball the right way. I play very hard. I always give 100% for the team." End quote.
Yeah, except for when you don't want to play the position that they ask you to, and you
don't think that's how he's going to be remembered necessarily, there, Rafi. But
sure. Once again, yeah, he was a dick at the end, but not enough to boo. Like it wasn't something that was like I don't think it's boo worthy, but I do. I mean, especially for all that he did beforehand. I mean, my guy, the guy obviously had a zillion home runs for this team.
Well, as one texter points out, 865. I'm not sure where that is. Devers isn't helped by the fact that many of his really good years came in seasons when the Red Sox absolutely sucked, which makes him easy to forget.
Sure. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
It is kind of a good point.
Yeah. I love that guy referenced the Pablo Sandoval belt smashing open picture because it's truly one of the all-time, oh, my God, this is a bad contract moments. Sandoval, my God. I remember when they got him, they had pictures of him with like a stuffed panda, like, oh, the big panda's here. And then it was just like, I'm eating. I'm just going to get fat. There's that picture of him when he was supposed to like watch his weight. Remember that picture of him with the giant sundae? And he's the happiest he's ever been. And you're like, I'm eating.
What a disaster that was. 508 texter, if the team shows up at 5, they should make Duran report at noon so he doesn't make a mental mistake, which he does at least every day. Duran is such a polarizing figure, is he not? He's like either loved and you buy his jersey or you just hate him. I mean, Arcand is like, I heard Arcand off the mic last night. He's like, Duran's the problem. Like people just get down on him, and he could be part of the solution. I still have a little faith in Jarren.
You can't get rid of him, according to one of the callers, because he brings the dames to Fenway Park. He's the eye candy. There was a guy who called in, and literally that was his reason why you could get him, because hot chicks show up because of Jarren Duran. Well, there you go. I guess maybe he's the one. He's bringing all the women here. All right, 617-779-7937. What's that?
Succubus. Yeah.
Let's not get into that. Teddy J is all about the succubus. All right, we'll take your calls next.
Ted Johnson. Boston Sports Original, WEEI.
Is swung on and driven high and deep into right field, at the track, at the wall, gone! A grand slam for Devers, his second this week, and it is 16-3.
8 RBIs today. I don't care if you're facing the bat boy. It goes on the back of the baseball card. You love that. Single, 3-run homer, grand slam. Huh. Have a day.
That is a Lemmy Flemmy classic.
From the archives.
How about that? A little Motorhead plus Will Fleming gives us a Lemmy Flemmy. Right here on 93.7 WEEI. Rich Shirtley, Ken Laird, Ted Johnson. You can call us at 617-779-7937. As the drive home is brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We're at Fenway right now, and the return of Rafael Devers is today. And you have a couple of updates from Chad Tracy, correct, Ken, about some of these players that were like, I mean, man, there's so many different pieces right now looking to return to this team. What's the update we have so far?
Yeah, and by the way, so like tonight, Monasterio's at short, and that it's going to continue for a couple days. But tonight in Worcester, or I guess in Syracuse, Trevor Story playing 9 innings at shortstop, and he'll play Saturday as well in Worcester, according to Chad Tracy. But getting close. Roman Anthony will be the DH for Portland tonight. He'll be off Saturday and then play the outfield on Sunday, so he's getting close.
Okay.
Kiner Falefa is off tonight. Then he'll play 9 innings at second base for the Woo Sox on Saturday, so he's getting close.
Don't care.
Maybe the most interesting to me is Garrett Crochet. Throwing out to 90 feet, quote, with more intensity, end quote, making good progress. And so he and also Tanner Houck has thrown BP in Fort Myers, I guess is a longer shot, but you got 2 other pitchers in the hopper there. Whitlock also throwing out to 120 feet and making good progress. So good news on Crochet and Whitlock. One guy that is not throwing yet is Justin Slayton, so that's the one downer. Looks like he could be out for a considerable more period of time.
Doesn't that say to you that Crochet could possibly be back in some sort of relief mode for the playoffs?
Yep, no doubt.
Man, how awesome would that be? I mean, you talk about a team that's, boy, I mean, things aren't looking great. You got to think about, like, I mean, this is where you're going to find out really how good of a manager that Chad Tracy is, because he's got to figure out some way to make these arms last. And we it's been a storyline about Peyton Tolley and how good he is, but he is way past the amount of pitches he's ever thrown in a season. Speaking of that, The Athletic came out with their ranking of best pitchers in Major League Baseball, and Tolley, the highest ranked Red Sox, he's at number 14.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, ahead of Sonny Gray, Mr. 15 wins.
Sonny Gray's not even in the top 20, which is interesting to me, but the names are pretty strong. I mean, I'm looking at his list, and it's kind of a bunch of killers. Mizorowski's number 1, then Schoolbull, Sale, Chris Sale. How funny is that he's just so great? He's at number 3. And then, I mean, there's other names on here like Dylan Cease, Blake Snell. These are Jacob deGrom is immediately ahead of Tolley, but Tolley's getting the respect. And maybe it's all recency bias because other than this past one, the 2 outings before that were just like, I mean, the 14
strikeout game, that put him on the map. I feel like that got some notice around the league. And yeah, I agree. He's going to be your third starter. Now, if they ever needed a fourth in a playoff game, assuming they make a second round, would you consider Crochet starts for an inning or 2, and then Bayo comes in as the bulk guy in the middle?
I mean, it's kind of unfair to Crochet. I believe, like, especially if it's like in the playoffs, to go from being gone for an entire season to only having a couple games. It's more than likely you'll only have a couple games to warm up before the playoffs. I mean, listen, does it make sense? Sure. Is Bayo the greatest reliever in baseball right now? I believe ERA-wise, he is. And does he still need a fluffer for some reason? It's just truly hysterical.
And you like the lefty fluffer because then they set their lineup to face a lefty, and then the righty comes in. So it kind of would be a perfect morphing of 2 guys into 1 pitcher.
Yeah, listen, if they could be Master Blaster throughout the playoffs, I'd be totally cool with that. That would be amazing to me. If the 2 of them as a pair could go in there, you get Crochet either doing the first 2 innings, and then here comes Bayo just to mow him down. I mean, yeah, it couldn't work any better, but that is so unfair to Garrett Crochet. Can you imagine that? Like, you haven't played in a real game for almost an entire season, and then it sounds like you would only have like 2 to 3 actual games to play until the playoffs. I don't know, but then again,
that's why you're getting paid the big money, $170 million bucks.
I was just about to say that. Then there's gonna be people that's like, dude, you get paid a ton of money. Get out there and pitch. You need to be the starter. Go do it. Well,
actually, compared to Roman, like nobody's criticized Garrett Crochet at all, right? It's just like, all right, he's got a shoulder thing. Let's let him not rush him. I haven't heard one person say, why isn't Crochet back?
I think it's because he's been around for a while, and he's proven that he's somebody that is like a dirt dog and someone who's there to be trusted. Like I think he's earned the trust that he's doing everything he can to get back. Crochet's been in the game for a little bit, whereas Roman Anthony's a kid. And Reddit is a mean thing. It's a very tough thing to have to, hear yourself written about going, plowing through Southie or whatever he's doing. That's, once again, I find all that stuff ridiculous, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a little bit of truth in some of that. Just, you're young. I don't know how I would act. Like, if I was a single guy and somebody gave me $1 zillion like he just got, and you were one of the most famous people in town, you're telling me that you wouldn't do all of the things that Reddit says Roman Anthony is doing.
Well, of course. Maybe not some of the things. There was, some espionage going on there or whatever.
Sure.
Interfamily relations.
And then he dated his sister and got punched in the face. I keep coming back to that. One's my favorite. But yeah, anybody who says that you would resist the temptation and be like 21 years old, like cash that you've never seen before in your life, and you're one of the most famous people in the entire city, that you wouldn't do exactly what all those reports are saying.
Right, and he's not married. He's not tied down, so he can have at it. One thing, just from a baseball standpoint, maybe this is a little boring, but Will Middlebrooks, our guy, had tweeted this out, that he doesn't care about rehab game stat lines. So he doesn't care if Roman Anthony goes 0 for 3 like he did last night and struck out once. I have a really tough time with that one because as we got excited about the home run, like, shouldn't we care about the results in Double-A? I want to see him smash Double-A pitching. Like, I get it. It's not the end of the world. He's trying to get his timing back okay. I'm not a former player. I don't know. But it just seems like he's got to – I wouldn't want to call Roman up until he's really crushing Double-A pitching, right?
Well, that's – okay, so you're leading to a great point here. And Rob Bradford talked about it a little bit ago, too, on our show, is that obviously Rutschman came back too early. There's not even a question. I do like the fact that it sounds like – Story said the other day that he was going to be back on Friday, and they're not bringing him back. Like, they are keeping him for at least over the weekend. Correct. And maybe even a little bit longer. I like that they're not rushing these guys back. Like, you want them to be right. Let the dudes that are here, they seem to be doing okay without them right now. God knows you want to get at least like a couple of weeks in with a guy like Roman Anthony before the playoffs. That would be nice. Story, I'm not even as worried about. Roman Anthony, to me, is the one that you got to start. And to me, I'm not even counting on Garrett Crochet playing in the postseason. I think that would just be a bonus. Roman Anthony needs to play in the postseason. And I think that out of all the guys that right now we're looking at, he's the one that you've got to figure out some sort of way to have him come up here and get at least a couple of weeks in. I don't want to say rush him back because he's been gone for so long, but he's the one that I believe they need the most. And
also, I believe that on September 1st, the rosters expand to 28, up from 26, so they'll have 2 more spots where they could just add a guy and not be forced to play him. You know what I mean? So if they could just wait another week, you'll get that option.
Yeah, and also I'm waiting. I like the fact that Roman Anthony's playing. And, I know that Middlebrooks said don't worry about, like, how they do in rehab. I just want to make sure he doesn't drop the bat in pain. Because, it was like, what, 3 weeks ago he could barely even hold a bat because it was so painful? And now he's hitting fastballs? So, show me that you're not going to, like, absolutely scream next time you make contact and a pain goes throughout your body that's unbearable, because that's what it sounded like for so long.
Put him in the trash monster costume and make him go around that for a night. Let's really just make sure the guy's ready to go.
You know what? How about that? How about next time one of the players jaws off at somebody in the stands? Like next time Jared Duran starts screaming at a dude, he's got to serve time as the trash monster over in Portland.
Which, by the way, one of the guys I do play-by-play with down in Worcester, Mike Antonellis, used to work in Portland for a long time. He said he has been in the trash costume. He confirms that the head is down near the mouth so you can see out of it. So the trash, I guess, hits slightly above your head when you're in there. People do whip it into the mouth of the trash monster.
Yeah, like I mean, there's some actual weight to like a half-filled cup of Coke. Like when you whip that thing at the poor person inside of the trash monster costume. Like I mean, that's, you know, I'm not saying it's concussion stuff, but it's obviously, you know, you're not getting tickled with a feather. Yeah, no question. All right, it is time for Ken versus everybody. But you know what? Christian Arcan's going to be here, right? Is Christian going to be here?
Well, he's due to be here, so let's see. I mean, his arrival time is always a little Jackson-esque. You never can quite predict. But, hey, Jackson was here early today. He was ready to go, so good job by Jackson. Let's see if Arcand is.
Jackson's got a million things going on behind the scenes, and he's been able to keep everything afloat. So thank you, Jackson. You've done a great job.
All right.
How about this? We will take your calls. You'll either be going up against the GOAT or you'll be going up against Ken, who's the semi-GOAT. So, all right, so if Christian is here, you are going to be tested against the best, and if not, hell, maybe you'll win. 617-779-7937. It is Ken versus everybody. You know how it goes. 5 questions. The category am I choosing? Can you beat Ken or Christian if he ends up showing up? Caller number 3. That's 617-779-7937. We will do that next. It is 93.7 WEEI. Rich Shirtleaf, Ken Laird, Ted Johnson, and you listening on the Odyssey app, leaving us messages by pressing that little microphone button. And you know what?
I'm afraid I got some bad news for our contest winner. The GOAT is here. Arcand in the building, so sorry.
You gotta go head-to-head with the GOAT today? I like it.
Yep.
I like it. You know, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian Arcand is the best. So what do you say? Is he there? Has he got the headphones on?
Yes, he's warming up. He's got his Aqua Velva.
I'm here. I can tell Bradfo is here, though, because there's crumbs on this microphone.
Wow, coming in hot.
I'm just saying. I know I can tell when, like, Bradfo's been here before. I can see it. I can see it right here on the mic.
Who leaves the most crap in the studio?
Curtis.
Oh, Curtis? Is Curtis?
Oh,
yeah. I won't listen to him.
Not on the microphone so much, but, like, on the floor and all
the-
around, like, all the surfaces for sure.
He's
Yeah,
a snacker.
Bradfo, like, snacks on the air. You can hear it. And then, like, the crumbs all spill onto the microphone.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a mental block with me where I, for some reason, never, like, suspend from eating a snack right before we're about to go on the air. I've gone on the air a million times with a mouthful, and just like an idiot, let's talk with it. I was like, well, you know what? I guess that's me. If you hang out with me, I'm disgusting anyway, so I'm going to be disgusting on the air. All right. Now that the GOAT is here, it is time for Arcand versus everybody. Let's go to Steve on line 3. Steve, how's it going, my man? How you doing?
Nope. Hello, Steve.
Very good, buddy. Let me say one thing. Babyface should be booed tonight.
Babyface Devers. It's going to be interesting, man. Listen,
He will be.
All I know is that the guy, you know, I'm one of those people who think that there needs to be a bigger standard for booze, but why the hell not? Let's go for it. It's a Friday night. Let's have some fun. Sure, let's boo the babyface. I'm with you, Steve. All right, so Christian, get your ass in another room. Go to the soundproof booth.
Okay, bye.
Get out of here. You know how this works. All right, so Steve, here's how it goes. I'm not sure if you have played before or not, but I'm damn glad to have you because you're going up against the best. And I got a category of my choosing, 5 questions. If you can answer as many or more than Christian Arcand, then you, sir, are the grand champion. There's no prize, just bragging rights and just radio glory. Sound good, Steve?
Sounds great.
All right, Steve, you got 5 seconds to answer each one, and your category today is vending machine cuisine. Vending machine cuisine. Jackson, you can hit the bed. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Number 1. This snack answers the question, what if a circus elephant tasted like drywall? 3 seconds.
Oh.
Ooh, moving on. Sorry. Number 2. No, you don't, Jackson. You don't play that there. No.
Sorry, wrong button.
That's right. That's all right. Number 2.
You're doing so well.
I know. We're almost there, Jackson. Number 2. A meat-flavored number 2 pencil endorsed by a dead wrestler.
No, come on, Steve.
Oh, 3 seconds.
Oh.
There's all things in a vending machine. Okay, gotta move on to the next one. Number 3. This snack lets you enjoy all the romance of onion breath without ever actually eating an onion.
Funyuns.
Oh, you got it. All right. Here comes the comeback. Number 4. I'm convinced that no one has ever purchased this bag of flaming hot fries named after a comic strip character that nobody knows that's in every vending machine. Three seconds.
Nothing.
All right. And finally, a tiny sewer pipe of a pretzel carrying nacho cheese flavored caulk.
Oh, boy.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
man.
Oh, boy.
Steve, this just was not your category. Now,
Not a
Jackson,
good
is when you play them. Now, there we go.
Well, you got one.
You got one. I thought that was kind of easy, Ken. What did you think?
Yeah, I think I got 4 of the 5. Now, this is right up Arcan's alley as well, so I think this is going to be a clean sweep. I have utmost faith in him to crush this category.
How many did you do, Jackson? How many did you get?
I got 3 of them.
Okay, wow, a little tougher than I thought. I thought this was going to be a clean sweep. All right, so Christian, the good news is you only have to beat 1.
Okay.
One
Which means you
out of
need
5.
2. You got to get 2.
Got to get 2, yeah.
Yes, that is the math. Yes, the 2 would beat 1 in this case. All right, you ready, Christian?
I'm ready.
Your category is vending machine cuisine.
Okay.
Things found in a vending machine. Vending machine cuisine. Question number 1. This snack answers the question, what if a circus elephant tasted like drywall?
What if it, what?
What if a circus elephant tasted like drywall?
Tasted like drywall? Smart food?
That is incorrect. Number 2, a meat-flavored number 2 pencil endorsed by a dead wrestler.
That would be a Slim Jim.
That is correct. Number 3, this snack lets you enjoy all the romance of onion breath without ever actually eating an onion.
Those would be delicious Funyuns.
That is correct. Number 4, I'm convinced that no one has ever purchased this bag of flaming hot fries named after a comic strip character that nobody knows that's in every vending machine.
Andy Cap.
That is correct. Andy Cap's
Yeah.
hot fries. And number 5, a tiny sewer pipe of a pretzel carrying nacho cheese flavored caulk.
Those are combos.
That is correct. All right, you got 4 out of
Good
5.
job.
Not
job.
bad.
I didn't know what you were getting at with combos. That one stumped me for some reason.
Yeah, it's like a sewer pipe of a pretzel carrying
now
nacho
that-
cheese flavored
With a
caulk.
little cheese.
Yeah, with
cheese
the
caulk
cheese.
in there,
Okay,
yeah.
all
It's
right.
like
What was the elephant one?
First one's got to be
Okay,
animal crackers, right?
yeah, animal crackers. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
What
going to
if-
be circus peanuts. Wow.
No, what if a circus elephant tastes like drywall? That's the animal
Okay.
crackers suck. Nobody wants those.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's go to Steve. Steve, are you still there, buddy?
I'm still here.
I am so sorry, Steve. It was just
Sorry,
not
pal.
your day. Not your day. You went up against the greatest, and unfortunately, he came to play today, Steve.
I'll get Arcan next time.
All right,
you won't.
sounds good, Steve.
Nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Thank you, sir, for calling. Yeah, Andy Cap's hot fries are in every vending machine,
are.
and I'm like,
I like them.
Really?
I do.
I like them too.
They're greasy. I like them. Yeah. I don't know. They're not like good, but I do like them. Yeah.
I just love how Andy Cap is still a thing. Like,
Andy Cap was a goat comic. I really enjoyed it.
He was in a real toxic relationship.
Yeah.
From what I remember about that comic. Like him and his wife just going at it all the time.
well, that was like the Lockhorns was essentially just like spouse abuse, the comic strip. It was all like,
Is that the one I'm
this-
thinking of? Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, Lockhorns is just like, you burnt my dinner. I hate you. I'm gonna hit you.
He was at the pub a lot. He was kind of lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy Cap was like a lazy drunk.
Yeah. Irish guy, I think, or British guy. I'm not sure.
I think we need to raise the stakes, Rich. I think the lack of prize is bringing in competition that's just not really worthy of it. You know, like I think we need to incentivize this a little bit.
Hey, Christian, I'm telling you, the phone line, it's like immediately the phone lines are full. I don't know how like having a prize would make any difference. Like,
No,
I mean,
maybe
do you think normally someone would be like, gosh, I was going to call in, but now that there's a prize, I don't think I'm good enough.
Now that there's like a Red Sox scarf, that's definitely something from the prize closet.
You know what? Maybe just maybe, if someone beats you because you are like unbeatable, maybe we'll try to find something. It's such a pain in the ass to give away prizes. You have to get like 18 things approved in order to do it. Maybe just like a signed drawing from maybe like someone can do like a Titanic drawing of me with my shirt off. And I can sign it, like that way.
We can commission
How
that
about they can do the
easily.
pregame show? How's that?
There you go. You can just come on the air and just
Or
do
how
the
about one of
pregame.
your hats, Christian?
Which, I have a lot of hats. I can have one of my
No,
hats.
heads. One of your big comic heads that you have here.
Oh, no, I'm not giving those away. Those are precious.
Oh, like the
I got Pete the Meat. I got Ted Sarandis. I had a whole Mount Rushmore up in there.
You
But
got
then
a
Hillman
Pete
took him
Shepard
down.
head the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, is that a Pete
Yeah.
Shepard head? What good.
Oh, yeah. And
All right.
Dale.
Well, Christian, what you got going on today, buddy?
I got about 2 minutes, and then we go right into pregame. One of the more anticipated games here in a season that's had lots of up and downs. Rafi Devers is here, and there's going to be a lot of mixed emotions, I think, in the crowd tonight. Rainy night here at Fenway.
Decent amount of Giants fans here, Rich.
I've seen a lot of them, yeah.
Don't cheapen the boo. There used to be a standard for boos. Rafael Devers does not meet that standard. Sure, he's a gumpy-looking baby face, like our caller just said, but no need to boo a gumpy-looking baby face. Save it for when LeBron shows up in January. Then let's have some fun. Absolutely. All right, Christian, thank you so much. You were still the GOAT. Jackson, you held it down like nobody's business. Excellent work. We will see everybody next week. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. And let's go, Red Sox. We will see you later. We love you. Bye.
WEEI.
Good evening. Welcome in. It's the Christian Arcand Show here, WEEI. We are live in our Ford Clubhouse Fenway studio, looking out on Lansdowne Street. We are Boston Sports Original, and tonight we are here with you for about 6 minutes, actually. But not too far off there, Jackson. Live from Fenway here. Ground zero of a reunion that a lot of people kind of forgot about this year. I completely spaced on this. I know people who had tickets for this game, and they were like, right, it's the Rafael Devers reunion game, his first game back at Fenway. This season has been so dramatically bad and then dramatically good that we all sort of just forgot about them. Oh, yeah, Devers is going to be back this year. And also it helps that the Giants have been terrible. I'm sorry to you Giants fans outside, if there's any out there. I've seen a lot of Giants fans here. A lot of them made the pilgrimage. And, oh, God, for that team, oh, brother, that team sucks. They got a good pitcher going tonight, and this may be the one game on the schedule here for the weekend that the Red Sox truly do have to worry about. But I think the Rafael Devers story is the one that's going to be dominating the headlines here all throughout the weekend. And starting here tonight, he already made some comments, which a lot of people have been discussing all day long. Would he do anything differently? No. Okay. How do you want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as a guy who would do 100% anything he could to help the team. Oh yeah? I'd like to be remembered that way too, Rafi, but you gotta do some of that before. And listen, before I get to my main point here, I do want to say that I really enjoyed watching Devers play here. I was a big fan of his from when he was 19, 20 years old, hitting home runs at Yankee Stadium off Aroldis Chapman. to hitting home runs and playoff run. 2018, he was part of that. He was the best player on the team when they weren't very good, which is a whole other thing. And I don't think that them not being good was any reflection of him or the way that he played. I look at his numbers now, and I can clearly see they're declining. But he's still a pretty solid power hitter for a third baseman in the majors. And to sort of watch a kid like him grow up so quick in the majors and then have it all end the way it did was a bummer to me. Like, the whole thing was just a bummer. I was sore at him like everybody else was because he was being an a-hole. And don't take any of this as me excusing what an a-hole he was, because it was pretty bad. That whole thing at the end was pretty bad. They didn't ask you to do that much, Raffy. And I also think the team could have handled this differently as well. And that's everybody. That goes from John Henry to Breslow to Alex Cora, the whole group of them. I don't think anybody really handled this right. I don't think they handled it right with Devers. I don't think they handled it right with each other. And ultimately, it led to a really ugly breakup of a guy that just, a year prior, you were handing out a humongous contract to. A contract that the Giants are really wishing they didn't take on, I'll tell you that. I'd love to meet a Giants fan out there tonight who's like, oh, yeah, this Devers contract's really working out great for us. This, honestly, at the time, I was pretty upset. I was pretty upset that you were losing 30-plus home runs and 100 whatever RBI. And you're still kind of losing that. He is on pace for 32 home runs this year. The only guy that's he would have the second highest OPS on this team right now, or not OPS, second highest slugging percentage on this team right now behind Contreras. And they have the same amount of home runs. So, as good of a year as Contreras is having, and it's a better year than Devers is having, some of their raw power numbers are pretty similar. Okay, so I think that that's an important factor to consider when you talk about, oh, yeah, Devers, so glad he's gone. Really dodged the bullet there. I don't know about that, because maybe with Rafael Devers here for the first 2 months of the season, you don't go so far in the tank that you need to have the superhuman output to just get back to the wild card. Like maybe you could have had that and also not been just a cellar dweller for all of April and all of May. But that's all hypothetical stuff. You can't really go too far into it, because you have to also consider that Rafael Devers, what you got back in the trade for him, you ended up flipping for what I think is a pretty important group of players in terms of the success of the team this year. You turn Kyle Harrison and some of those other guys into Caleb Durbin, into Andrew Monasterio, and Anthony Siegler. Durbin, who after his bad start has become one of the best hitting third basemen in the league, and Monasterio, who I know Trevor Story's coming back soon, and nothing would make me happier than Trevor Story slotting right back in and doing what he did last September, which is being one of the only guys on the roster that actually can hit the ball. And I don't want him to be the only one, but I want him to hit like he hit last year, down the stretch at this time. Because if you remember, it was him and it was Yoshida, and that was it. Everybody else was underwater for almost the entire month of September and then into the playoffs. Bregman gave you a little bit. But other than that, it was bone dry, that offense. So if that's something Story can do, great. But I remember Trevor Story at the beginning of the year, just like I remember Durbin and Duran and these guys down at the bottom of every list of American League hitters. Durbin eventually hit his way out of it. Duran never really did, and Story went on the IL. So, now he's coming back, and we'll see if he can give you something. If not, they better pivot right back to Monasterio and the rotation that they had going. It's not perfect, but it was definitely something that was keeping the ship afloat for the time being. Ultimately and ideally, you'd like Story out there. He's the best defensively and probably has the most potential as an offensive power hitter out of all those guys. But you got to be able to do it. And with that, we take you to pregame. Red Sox, Giants, Rafi Devers, Fenway Park. I'm not booing him, by the way. I'm going out there. I'm not going to boo him. I enjoyed him more than I disliked him. At the end, we all disliked him. But they'll show a video montage, and you'll remember, yeah, we like that guy. That's what I think. He'll get booed, though, by some people. And that's all the time we have here. Stick around. Pregame is next on WEEI.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road. Ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope. That's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
Was traded away last June. Mr. Rafael Devers himself in the flesh, making his return to the Commonwealth, where he played for 8 seasons and became one of the great third basemen in this franchise's history. We all remember how the breakup went. We will revisit that in a moment, but after a day off, Red Sox looking to bounce back from a tough extra innings loss to the Diamondbacks on Wednesday. Things started off well for the Red Sox. They got solo home runs from Nick Sogard and Jarren Duran in the first and third innings, respectively. That gave them a 2-0 lead. Sox starter Peyton Tolley mostly cruised through the first 4, then ran into trouble in the 5th. Back-to-back doubles from Jose Fernandez and Ryan Waldschmidt made it 2-1. Then a few batters later, Gabriel Moreno gave the Snakes the lead with a 2-run double of his own, making it 3-2. That inning would chase Tolley. He finished 5 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Greg Weissert would come on in the 6th and face pinch hitter Lars Nootbaar.
Played in just 11 games with the Diamondbacks. Hits a ball very well toward the Red Sox bullpen and over it into the first row of the bleachers. Beyond the middle of the Red Sox bullpen, a 2-run homer for the pinch hitter Nootbaar. And the Diamondbacks have taken a 5-2 lead.
Sean McDonough on the call. That home run from Nootbaar made it 5-2, and that is your play of last night's game. 2 nights ago, brought to you by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan has an exciting full line that will put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. Red Sox would tie it up in the bottom of the inning. Mickey Gasper's 3-run homer, his 3rd long ball in as many games. That would tie it up, and that tie would hold until the 10th inning when Giovanni Moran would allow an RBI single to Nolan Arenado, making it 6-5. He would then proceed to walk the bases loaded and then walk in a run, making it 7-5. Sox would get a run back in the bottom of the 10th on a Wilson Contreras ground out, but that is as close as they would get. They dropped the series finale 7-6, your final. The Diamondbacks happy to avoid a sweep. Red Sox will certainly take a series win. However, they have lost 8 of their last 12 games, and after a win with a team with real playoff aspirations, and the Diamondbacks were here this week, This weekend, it's the San Francisco Giants, who have no playoff aspirations at all, but they do have a familiar face on their roster. Rafi Devers traded there June 15th of last year, with San Francisco taking the remaining 9 years and $254 million of his contract, also sending back Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, James Tibbs, and Jose Bayo to Boston. Harrison would go on to be the centerpiece of the deal that brought Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monasterio, and Anthony Siegler here to Boston. The departure of Devers was an event that all parties had been heading towards pretty much from the beginning of spring training, when Devers was reluctant to move to DH, and then following the season-ending injury to Tristan Cassis, even more reluctant to move to first base. Even a visit from John Henry himself could not sway Rafi, and that was that. Since acquiring Devers, the Giants have been pretty much a free fall since the trade, and owners of the fourth worst record in baseball this year at 52-75. Devers joins Mookie Betts, Chris Sale, Xander Bogaerts, Nathan Eovaldi, Eddie Rodriguez, and other members of the 2018 World Series team to return to Fenway. But the big question here is, what kind of reception is Devers going to get? One thing we do know that he's going to get tonight is to face one of the best righties in baseball, and that brings us to tonight's pitching matchup, brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the best prices on tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. For the Red Sox, Sonny Gray getting the ball. 15-3 his record with a 2.65 ERA. He continues to chase Christopher Sanchez for the MLB lead in wins. Sanchez has 16. In August, Gray is 2-0 with a .95 ERA in 3 starts. That's 2 earned runs in 19 innings. Last time out, he tossed 7 scoreless in a win against the Pittsburgh Pirates on Saturday. For the Giants, Logan Webb gets the ball. He has the 8-7 record and 3.50 ERA. He's on a heater as well. He's 3-0 with a 1.38 ERA over his last 4 starts, 4 earned runs in 26 innings. Last time out, he allowed 1 run in 6 against the Rockies. That was a win for the Giants. He's 29 years old, native of California. It's his 8th season. All 8 have been with the Giants. He's a 3-time All-Star, runner-up in the Cy Young voting in 2023, finished 4th in the Cy Young voting last year. Tonight's first pitch is at 7:10 and is brought to you by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers, Boston's go-to injury attorney for over 30 years. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777. You can watch Red Sox pregame on Twitch. Just follow WEEI. Brought to you by Subaru of New England. With so much to love, don't miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. Find yours at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Time now for the Baseball Isn't Boring 2-Minute Grill with Rob Bradford, presented by McFarland Energy, the region's most dependable provider of home heating oil, including BioHeat, as well as expert HVAC services at McFarlandEnergy.com. Here with Rob Bradford is Ceddanne Rafaela. The topic, Rafael Devers, and what it's been like without him, and how the whole trade went down. Here he is right now, Ceddanne Rafaela.
Seeing him again for the first time in a while.
Happy. I bet a lot of people are happy to see him and excited to watch him closely again.
What did he mean to you in your development as a person, and also how did he help you develop as a player?
You can say almost everything. It meant a lot to me, and still it means a lot to me. The things I've read from him as a player, and a lot of things that he teach me and that I still carry in my career right now. I think I'm really grateful to him.
You had said the All-Star game that he was your favorite former teammate. Why?
Yes, I think because I've learned. He teach me a lot. Since I came up, he grabbed me under his wings and then teach me the game, and he taught me a lot, and life too. We are really close friends, so I really love him.
Did you get a chance to see him in part?
No, not yet. Hopefully I see him out there and then say hi to him. And then things like that, I hear his voice, and then some words that he used to tell me.
What are those words?
I'm gonna keep those words to myself.
You wish you could be here to see the season you're having, just because this is your best season so far. Kind of, would you have liked for him to move?
No, I don't really wish anything. I just we at where we at, and I'm sure he's happy for me from distance. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go out there and then watch them play today, and we're gonna take the win. But yeah, I'm happy that he's here.
When you said you got traded away, it was tough for you to even talk about it at that time. How often do you guys still stay in communication? How much has the teammate aspect kind of extended beyond just the clubhouse for you too?
Yeah, I think we talked a couple of times, and we talked, and yeah, it was tough. It was tough at the moment that he got traded, and yeah, man, it's still tough for me sometimes, but it is what it is, and I'm happy he's doing good over there, and then I'm happy we're doing good as a team over here.
Ceddanne Rafaela there speaking to the assembled media about the departure and getting on without Rafael Devers. Time now for Kalshi's Trades and Transactions, brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on real-world events with federally regulated prediction markets. Download the Kalshi app today. Roman Anthony had the day off yesterday, but played again for the Sea Dogs last night in Double-A. Day off on Wednesday, check that. Last night he went 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout, played in the outfield for the first time after DHing on Tuesday. Trevor Story in AAA Worcester had the night off last night. Wednesday he was 2 for 4, 2 singles and an RBI. He is tracking to return potentially as soon as this weekend. Anthony is scheduled to DH tonight in Portland, or with Portland, and Story will be playing shortstop tonight in Worcester against Syracuse. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Will Fleming sits down with manager Chad Tracy, brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Ford puts quality first, and now they're first in quality. Ford, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and that dirty water. But coming up next, we'll head up to the booth, and we'll talk with Will. It's coming up next right here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, college students, looking for an easier way to grocery shop and save? Download the Shaws and Star Market app and sign up with your valid student email address to unlock 10% off your groceries every time you shop through the end of September. It's simple to join, easy to use, and packed with rewards to help your budget go further. Plus, students get free delivery once a month on orders over $30, making it even easier to stock up without leaving campus. Download the Shaws and Star Market app today and start saving with your student discount.
There's a lot to love about. There's a lot to love about you.
You don't want to miss the Subaru of New England, a lot to love event. Love everything the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback has to offer, like standard, symmetrical, all-wheel drive. Buy with 0.9% financing or lease for just $299 per month. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com.
You're listening to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Christian Arcand here with you, live from the WEEI Ford Clubhouse studio here in Fenway Park, looking out at Lansdowne Street, where there's some puddles on the ground. I'm seeing a little bit of drizzle in the puddles. However, they do not have the tarp on the field. There's like sparse tarping out in the outfield and around home plate, but that's basically it. They don't have the big LL Bean tarp out there. And it doesn't look like they're going to be needing to do that unless things change here. Looks like the weather will hold up, and it looks like we will get this game in. And thank goodness, because even though it's not a beautiful sunny evening here, it is a very anticipated game. The Red Sox, the Giants, a team that's done business 2 straight seasons, and both times pretty emotional trades that got made. You know, like whatever you think about Marcelo Meyer and whatever you think about how he was doing this year or his attitude or anything else, that was a player that this team had big plans for. And we all remember when they had big plans for Rafael Devers too. And for more on that, let's talk to our guy Will Fleming up in the Joe Castiglione radio booth. Joe, Joe, how about Will?
No one's ever paid me a better compliment. I'm happy to be called Joe.
No, right? Seriously, not too much. Glad the weather seems to be holding up here, because this game on the calendar, you know, you've had so many ups and downs this season, Will, that you almost forget, you know, oh yeah, right. Rafi Devers is coming back and all that comes with that. And I was just talking a minute ago about how in the last 2 seasons, the Red Sox and the Giants have made 2 pretty substantial trades with guys coming from Boston that at one point were expected to be maybe the future face of the franchise. Like, really kind of odd how the parallels are. Obviously, one's much later in the process and one much earlier, but still, it is sort of this weird connection now that these 2 teams have.
Yeah, it is, and I think sometimes GMs have kind of speak the same language and they get comfortable coming to terms for deals, and that's part of it. But we cannot put them even in the same galaxy.
Sure.
Because Devers is an all-time franchise great. He just is. And Marcelo was a dream, right? And so you're right that it is interesting that the teams hook up and tend to trade a lot. But the Devers thing is, I mean, other than Mookie and Babe Ruth, is one of the most substantial trades in Red Sox history. And so the idea that they were able to do that and pull it off and be together is just a remarkable thing. And I have to tell you, Christian, you know, we all know that it ended poorly last year and that they were right to trade him. We can talk about the return. We can talk about what Kyle Harrison has done. We can talk about all of that stuff. But here's where I net it all out, and I'm serious about this. Like, I understand people are angry. I was mad at Rafi for being stubborn and not being willing to play certain positions. That it ended really poorly. I get that. Seeing him here today, a lot of stuff came back to me. And I really hope that it will for Red Sox fans, because I know people are angry. I know our market. I'm prepared for a plenty of boos, or at the very least a mixed reaction. But, I mean, seeing him here, taking batting practice, seeing that same guy, the same smile and all that stuff, I was taken aback and sort of teleported into a time machine in a lot of ways, Christian. I really was. And by the way, you know, when you really think about it, the Red Sox got out of a huge contract. They're better off for it. And so, in a lot of ways, you know, you wish Rafi well. I do anyway. I don't have any ill will toward him. And did he handle it poorly? Sure. But I think there was blame on both sides. I was frustrated just like every other Red Sox fan was. But this guy's a world champ. He had an unbelievable run here. He had so many big homers. He got so many big hits that the Red Sox, I think, are indebted to him. And now they're in a better place. And I think it's one of those where it can be a win-win for both sides. So I hope it doesn't get too violent tonight.
I hope so, too. And I think, honestly, this is going to sound stupid, but I think that the video they play for him and how well, you know, like how emotional they make the video, that's going to have a big piece of, like, how the reaction goes, I think. Because you can really – you're right. I mean, you go back over the Rafael Devers experience here in Boston, Will, it was mostly positive until basically the very end. I mean, that was – and it was ugly from the beginning, from spring training. I mean, they got off the plane and they had a problem. But,
yeah, no
you know,
doubt.
for the majority of it, it was a pretty good experience with Devers here.
It was, and of course, every player has ebbs and flows, just in terms of performance and hitting. But, I mean, think about the home run he hit off Chapman. Think about the playoff home runs. Think about the clincher, essentially, in Houston. Think about all the big shots that he had over and over again in the Yankees series, in the playoffs. I mean, this guy delivered so much happiness to Red Sox fans. And think about it, too. I mean, first of all, there's no doubt. I mean, if you're just going to tell the honest story about it, that the money was a big factor of this stuff, and there's stuff that went on behind the scenes where Rafi was sort of unwilling to do certain things. I don't think in a vacuum not talking to the media is a big deal, although I think it's part of the responsibility of most of these athletes. I don't think that's the big story, but I think it's sort of a symptom of a larger ailment, and that is it's really was never his personality to do that. That's just not the person that he is. He wanted to talk with his bat, and God knows he did that for a lot of years. So, I'm sad with the way that it ended. And I to your point, there are so many to pick from. I mean, honestly, Christian, if you think about it, in the last 30 years in terms of returning players, no matter whether they left, were traded, signed elsewhere, whatever, I mean, other than Mookie, who has a better highlight reel than this dude? I mean, really, Xander is his own guy, and Xander, the World Championships and all that great stuff. And so maybe that's the comp. And by the way, I think had Xander been here, Rafi's story would have ended differently. I fundamentally will always believe that, because he would have been able to help him navigate all the difficulties with the media and all that stuff. Be that as it may, again, I was delighted to see him. It was great to kind of catch up with him for a very short while. And again, I just hope that there's some perspective. And I'm not not betting on it. I'm not naive. I know what might happen here tonight, but I hope if it's a long video of all those great moments, I hope it can carry into a really nice reception for him. The problem is that he's batting second in the game, right? So right away in the top of the first inning, Sonny Gray is going to face him. So you don't really have a control over that part of the narrative.
No question. All right, real quick before we let you go here, Trevor Story and Roman Anthony both having rehab assignments here tonight. Looks like Story's tracking on to be maybe coming back this weekend, and it sounds like slotting right in as the everyday shortstop. Is that about accurate?
Well, when he comes back, he's going to be the shortstop most days. He just is. I mean, why bring him back if that's not the case? And I think he's earned that right, and it's a test run, and you see how he looks, especially defensively. You give him time to get his timing back and hit a little bit. But here's the thing. I think he is well deserving of that opportunity. He has proven it. He's got a long track record, but Monasterio has been really good, and then you got the monster looming in AAA. So the cool thing about what's going on with the Red Sox is that they have layers of plans. I mean, you got the existing one in Monasterio, you got a backup sort of Bogarts type flyer in Franklin Arias, and so the Red Sox have got a lot of big decisions coming down the pike, and I'm really excited to see Trevor and Roman return soon.
Will Fleming, you and Lenny on the call tonight. Looking forward to it. Thanks.
Should I call you Keith? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That's another fine compliment there from Will Fleming. Up there in the booth alongside Lenny DiNardo tonight, and he's on double duty as he is going to sit down with Chad Tracy. Coming up next year, presented by your New England Ford dealers. Don't go anywhere. It's the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
At Meineke, we are totally transparent. It's all about trust and doing car care right for you. At Meineke, our experienced and certified technicians perform a free digital e-inspection and send updates with pictures, videos, and notes directly to your phone or email. We want you to see what we see. That's Meineke Transparency. Visit Meineke.com today and schedule an appointment. Each Meineke location is individually owned and operated. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Did you know Skechers makes high-performance footwear for almost every sport you play? Here's what our athletes are saying. Hi, I'm pro basketball player OG Anunoby. I dominate in Skechers basketball. Skechers delivers championship-level performance.
I'm WNBA star Jackie Young. Skechers keeps me quick, comfortable, and ready for anything.
And you can get high-performance Skechers and hands-free slip-ins technology. Just step in and perform.
I'm pro golfer Matt Fitzpatrick. I play in hands-free Skechers golf slip-ins.
Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or whatever high-performance sports shoes are sold.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study.
Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Back to savings at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a free MicroGuard Select oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Limits apply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Take Boston sports with you wherever you go. Download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
Welcome back to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Christian Arcand here with you live from Fenway. And before every game, we interview Red Sox manager Chad Tracy. Chad Tracy on WEEI is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Ford puts quality first, and now they're first in quality Ford, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and that dirty water. Here to talk with Chad Tracy about this matchup with the Giants and Rafael Devers is our own Will Fleming.
Opener against the Giants, kind of a dreary day at Fenway, but everybody rested, an off day, and the first of 3. Another National League opponent, and obviously the big story of today is the return of Rafi Devers. And, you know, Chad, I know you were not here at the big league level through all of it the way that it ended, so I'm not going to ask you the specifics, or everybody's asking how he's going to get received. I mean, we'll see. It's going to be a mixed bag. But either way, about just the perspective of, you know, this franchise and the people who come here and win championships, and how different it is in a market like this to be able to deliver on the biggest and brightest stage.
That's well said. Yeah, I mean, this is a high expectation market. The expectation is winning every day, and you know, putting championship trophies in the case. You know, and you can't take that away from him. He did that. He's got a World Series ring here, and obviously was a very impactful hitter, one of the most impactful hitters in the history of the organization. So, you know, you give him his flowers on that for sure.
16 games in 16 days, off day. You have to feel like for your entire club gives you a little reset, doesn't it?
Yeah, we were, you know, that was a necessary one. We knew it, circled it on this calendar long ago, like that, you know, this is going to be a difficult stretch going through 16 in a row in the dog days in August. Some of those are day games and hot environments and all that. So, we got through it. We played well at the tail end. We had a really good hot stretch in there, a cold stretch, and then a nice little finish. But yeah, I think everybody took a collective breath, almost came back to get a dramatic win Wednesday. But I think everybody took a collective breath and said, I'm going to lay down and rest and let the body recover, because it had been a long ride there.
You know, Chad, one of the weird things about your team this year is that you crush the first-place teams. I mean, you've had this run. I think you'd won 15 games in a row against first-place teams. And against some of the teams that are really fighting, it's been a different deal. I'm sure that's just coincidence, no rhyme, no reason. But this is a stretch here now against Giants and Marlins, two teams who are totally out of it. Don't you feel like it's important to take advantage of that before the gauntlet that's to come?
Yeah, you got to play good against everybody. I think it's probably more coincidence because the first 2 and a half months, we didn't really play well against anybody. Yep. And then we just happened to get hot, and it just happened to be that we were playing all good teams and beat them all a lot. So that this thing about, they beat the really good teams, like, well, we beat everybody for a while. So at the end of the day, I say this all the time, like it's a Major League Baseball game against another Major League team, and it takes one good pitcher to walk out there, and you got to battle. It doesn't matter. You got to battle, but you do have to pay attention to what the other team does and take advantage of things and be aggressive and force the issue, and hopefully we can have a good few games here.
I wasn't planning on asking you this, but I just looked out and saw Ron Washington, who, I mean, he's one of my favorite people in baseball. He's colorful. He's got an enormous personality, and I think of his generation, he's one of the great infield instructors of all time. He's helped Raffy over at first base. He helped so many people in his time. And that's something you guys are preaching with your team. Defense has been so important. How critical is it to have coaches who invest and help make your players so much better?
Wash is incredible. Actually, he was the manager in Texas when I was there. So I got drafted, and it was Buck, and then he was gone, and then Wash took over, and I spent personally countless hours learning how to play first base under Wash. So I can, personally attest to his program and the things he does and how much it helped. Like he's really good at what he does. So, but to your point, fundamental baseball and knowing like we're talking about games that good pitcher that it usually comes down to, do you take care of the ball? Do you execute small things? Can you get a sac fly? Can you get a bunt down? Can you catch the ball? So that aspect of coaching, especially at this level when the margins are razor thin and there's a lot of games decided by 2 runs or less, those little details become very important.
Since you experienced it, what makes Wash so good at it? Is it every little detail? Is it more big picture stuff? What makes him so excellent?
He's always there, man. He pushes you hard. These expectations are that you're there ready to go every single day. He's going to be waiting for you. He's never late. I remember doing sessions where you're keeled over, just dying to catch your breath at the end, but he pushes you, and I just think it's more the program itself going through it. It was like over time you do it over and over and over again, and all of a sudden things just start to happen second nature. You'd have to really go through it to understand like what it does, and go through it for a period of time, and then all of a sudden things just start naturally happening with your body that weren't before. He's been doing it a long time.
First 2 games against Arizona, and indeed in the finale until the last few innings, your offense got cranking again. What's been the key to get, especially, it's always in weird ways been like the top and the bottom of the order have gotten going. It feels like the big boys found it again in that last series.
Yeah, they started to swing the bat. Obviously, I think we scored 24, 25 runs in the series, which is great. For me, the biggest thing was, like, even on the road trip, like, we still got into good counts. I thought we navigated at bats. We had base runners, and then we'd get a pitch to hit and didn't hit it, but, like, we got pitches to hit in that series, and when we got pitches to hit, we did not miss them, and that's the big thing. And when we do that with people on base, we have the same amount of people on base. When you do have people on base, here comes multiple run doubles, home runs, things like that. And we did a much better job of getting pitches to hit and not missing during that 3 games.
Logan Webb is one of the special starters in the National League. He's been on a tear. I mean, he went through a little slump in July, but his last couple, he's been awesome. What does your offense need to do to get the best out of him?
You gotta get straight. The ball moves, right? Like, it's going to move multiple directions. He can sink it, he can cut it, he can move it both ways, he can throw 4-seam in there, he sweep it. So you're going to get a lot of horizontal action. So being patient enough to see if you get something in the middle, and you got to grind him out. And maybe with him sometimes it could be like paper cut here, paper cut there, put pressure on, and then get one big hit. Not trying to overdo it. If you're up there and you're thinking I'm going to hit a home run here, like, there's enough movement there where just make sure you get a hittable pitch and get some people on base, apply pressure to the defense, and then see if you can score some runs.
Sonny does so many things well, but one thing seems pretty constant with him, and that is if he has spin, if he can really spin the baseball, he is going to be at his best. What specifically, have you talked to him about this day in and day out? What kind of leads to him being able to feel that spin grip or not?
I haven't talked to him about it. I just, Sonny's, he comes in, he's very focused when he pitches. He comes in with his own distinct plan. There's a very small contingent of people in there that get prepared for the game, and him and Adley will be on the same page. The thing about Sonny is he can do it in a lot of ways, so no matter how he's doing it, like if he's got spin, he'll use his spin, and if he adjusts, I've said this to you before, he adjusts very well, inning to inning, hitter to hitter, based on what he's feeling, what he's seeing. So it's rarely just, here's the game plan, we're going to go do that for 7 innings. It often changes as the game goes along, and that's all according to how he feels and what he's seeing.
Well, only, let's see, about 6 more hours you have to answer questions about Raffy Devers. So that's a good thing. Good luck tonight, Chad. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Will.
Chad Tracy there with our own Will Fleming. You can watch Red Sox pregame on Twitch. Just follow WEEI. It's brought to you by Subaru of New England. With so much to love, don't miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. Find yours at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Still to come here on the Mass Mutual pregame show, we got your starting lineups. We got a grab and go from Bradfo. We'll look at the Subaru scoreboard, and we got your lock of the game. That's all coming up next here in the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
You've spent all winter waiting for baseball season. Now it's the time to make the most of summer. Just a short drive from Boston, Maine feels like a world away. This is a destination forged by nature and made for adventure. Rugged coastlines, lighthouse views, fresh seafood, and welcoming small towns full of character. From family vacations to spontaneous weekend escapes. Discover why Maine is a favorite summer tradition. Plan your next trip at visitmaine.com. That's visitmaine.com.
CVS knows where you get your medicine matters. It matters every day and every night. It matters that we're not just in your community, but we're part of it, making sure everyone feels welcomed and rewarded. It matters that we're here for what the doctor prescribed, and also just what the doctor ordered. Welcome to CVS, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox.
Hi, it's Will Fleming here, and Boston weather is relentless. The ice, the snow, the summer humidity. Your home's exterior can take a beating. What if your siding was made to stand strong through it all? Hardy fiber cement siding is engineered for our climate. It resists cracking in the freezing cold and won't swell in the summer heat. You get the timeless beauty of wood with lasting protection and low maintenance. Your home deserves the #1 brand of siding in North America. Learn more at jameshardy.com. That's jameshardy.com.
Hey, Sox fans, add another Boston Hall of Famer to your summer fun lineup with Boston Harbor City Cruises. From epic skyline dining cruises to whale watches, ferries to the Harbor Islands, P-Town and Salem, plus high-speed thrill rides on Godzilla and more, getting out on the water is a shipload of fun for everyone. And get a jump on holiday party planning for your friends, family, or coworkers. Book now to score best deals. Proud partner of the Boston Red Sox. Visit citycruises.com/Boston.
It's baseball season in New England. Sox fans emerge from hiding, their instincts roused by a call.
Hot dogs here!
They roost between Lansdowne and Jersey Street, their primitive chants heard for miles.
Let's go, Red Sox!
Colorful creatures, aren't they? To witness these traditions is truly remarkable.
Sox fan traditions are in bloom, and so is our devotion. Mass Mutual, official partner of the Red Sox. Learn more at massmutual.com/Red Sox.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Ratliff, Engineering Director at Nissan. We know some things are important to hear from an expert, not a voice actor. For instance, the Nissan Frontier is not only powerful and fun to drive, but it's durable too. We added the V6 engines. When you need that power in the off-road, it's there. I know, we've tested it a lot. Now get out there and find your Frontier.
Nissan, Consumer Guide's most awarded brand 5 years in a row. Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, Murano, Pathfinder, or Frontier, excluding S-Trim. Consumer Guide is a registered trademark, a publication international limited, www.consumerguide.com. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand finance. Frontier S-Trim 1.9% APR for 60 months at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 9/30/26.
After a tough winter combined with harsh coastal weather, home exteriors take a beating. That's why pros across the Northeast have trusted AZEK Exteriors for over 25 years. As the #1 brand for premium exterior trim and molding, AZEK keeps homes elevated with stunning details that endure beautifully no matter the conditions. And now, introducing AZEK Lap Siding, pairing the classic beauty of traditional wood siding with modern durability. Available in 18 different colors from AZEK Captivate Pre-Finishing. Start planning your remodel today with AZEK. Order free samples at azekexteriors.com.
It's back at Shaw's and Star Market, the 10 for $10 sale. Hey, it's Lou. Now through Thursday, save on select varieties of your favorite items, like Kraft Mac and Cheese, Star-Kissed tuna pouches, and Signature Select canned vegetables for your pantry. Frozen favorites like Banquet Pot Pie and Friendly Sundae Cups, and refreshing drinks like Powerade and Coca-Cola. Save on these and more during the 10 for $10 sale. Now at Shaw's and Star Market, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network.
Red Sox Review after the game on 93.7 WEEI.
Welcome back to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Live from our WEEI Ford Clubhouse Fenway studio. I'm Christian Arcan. Red Sox and the Giants. The finale of this homestand here for the Red Sox. And now let's get to our starting lineups tonight, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Let's meet tonight's players. For the hometown Red Sox, leading off at second base will be Nick Sogard. He'll be followed by Ceddanne Rafaela in center. Wilyer Abreu batting third and right field. Wilson Contreras at first is your cleanup hitter. He'll be followed by the catcher Adley Rutschman. Caleb Durbin at third base, followed by Jarren Duran in left. Andrew Monasterio at short. And Mickey Gasper, who's just hitting home runs and nothing else every day. Another home run for Gasper. He'll be DHing and batting ninth for the starter, Sonny Gray. For the Giants, leading off in center field will be Drew Gilbert. Rafael Devers making his return to Fenway for the first time since June of last year, batting second and DHing. Willie Adames will be your number 3 hitter and shortstop. He has good numbers against Gray, by the way. Bryce Eldridge, your cleanup hitter and first baseman. He'll be followed by Young-Hoo Lee in right field. Oslavis Basabe, your second baseman and number 6 hitter. He'll be followed by Turner Hill in left. Drew Kavanaugh, the catcher and number 8 hitter. Christian Koss will bat ninth and play third base behind the starter, Logan Webb. Time now for a Subaru of New England scoreboard update. With so much to love, don't miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. Find yours at SubaruofNewEngland.com. One final to tell you about already, and that comes to us from Milwaukee. A great pitcher's duel between the Brewers and the Braves. The Mizorowski, out-dueling Chris Sale. William Contreras went 4 for 4. The Brewers knock off the Braves by a final score of 2-1. There's one game in progress to tell you about as well. That would be the Cardinals, who have a 2-0 lead over the Phillies. Bottom one in Philadelphia, a Joshua Baez 2-run home run in the top of the first inning gave the Cardinals the lead. Still to come tonight, a 7:05 start time in New York for the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Mason Fluharty and Cam Schlittler, your starters. Schlittler 0-1 against Toronto, despite a 1.96 ERA against them in 3 starts. 7:10 will be the start time for the Nats and the Marlins in Miami. Brad Lord and Ryan Gusto, your starters. Marlins have won 23 of their last 33 home games. Rays and the Orioles get underway at 7:15 in Baltimore as Freddie Peralta and Trevor Rogers, your starting pitching matchup. Rogers very good lately, a 2.45 ERA and 13 starts since June 1st. 7:40, the White Sox host the Mets. Sean Manaea and Sean Burke going at it. Manaea is 3-0 with a .86 ERA and 3 career starts against Chicago. At 8:10, the Tigers visit the Royals. Troy Melton and Noah Cameron, your starters in that one. Also at 8:10, the A's and the Astros get underway in Houston. JT Ginn and Hayden Wesneski are getting underway there at 8:10. The Athletics 11-41 since June 20th. That's 10 fewer wins than any other team in that span. At 8:15, Angels and the Rangers get underway in Arlington. Reed Detmers and Mackenzie Gore will be the starters. 8:40 for the Rockies and the Guardians in Denver. At 9:40, the Reds visit the Diamondbacks. Eddie Rodriguez gets the start for the Snakes opposite Nick Lodolo. Diamondbacks are 19-6 when Rodriguez starts this season. And at 9:40, we got the Twins and the Padres in San Diego. A 10:10 start time at Dodger Stadium for the Pirates and the Dodgers. Bubba Chandler and Yoshinobu Yamamoto will be the starters. And at 10:10 in Seattle, the Cubs will visit the Mariners. Matthew Boyd and Emerson Hancock, the starting pitching matchup in that one. Boyd with a 2.57 ERA and 7 road starts. That is compared with a 5.44 ERA when he pitches at Wrigley Field. Lock of the Game is presented by Interlock Metal Roofing. Visit interlockroofing.com and never re-roof again. Actually, before we do that, let's get to Rob Bradford with a let's go ahead actually first and do the Lock of the Game, which is presented by Interlock Metal Roofing. Visit interlockroofing.com and never re-roof again. For the lock here, what I think I'm going to go with is the under, and I'm going to do that because there was another pitcher's duel earlier here. Chris Sale and the Miz, only 3 runs in that game. I think you got something similar going on here with Webb and Sonny Gray. So under 7.5 is going to be my pick. So lock that up for the Interlock Metal Roofing Lock of the Game. And now it's time for a grab and go presented by the Bees Knees Benefits app. Here's Brad Foe with an update.
It's time for the grab and go. A quick look at the biggest Red Sox storylines of the day. Here's Rob Bradford.
All right, time to grab and go once again. Big news of the day. Rafael Devers returns to Fenway Park as a member of the Giants for the first time. We met with the media for about 8 minutes. The takeaways was that he said he does not regret anything that really happened. He also said everybody matures, and he's not really thinking about the reception that he may or may not get from the Red Sox fan base. Before or after he went out, He took some grounders at first base, which obviously was the first time he did something like that at Fenway Park because he didn't do it as a member of the Red Sox. 162 game average with the Red Sox, by the way, for Devers, hitting 279 with a WRC plus of 127 with 33 home runs and 107 RBIs. 162 game average with San Francisco, 241, 120 WRC plus with 34 home runs and 90 RBI. So very, very similar. Players weekend, William Abreu is wearing Avatar cleats. Garrett Whitlock's wearing Jimmy Fun cleats. And Jarren Duran, has a bat with a Pepsi logo in the Duran name, which is apropos because his dad works for Pepsi. All right, that's what's grabbing and going.
All right, Bradfo Grab and Goes presented by the Bees Knees Benefits app. Make it part of every game day and get 50 cents off per gallon on your first fill-up or $5 off in-store. Download the Bees Knees Benefits app today and start saving. Terms apply. You've been listening to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Hang tight. Get comfortable. Red Sox in action next, right here at Fenway Park, live on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
You've been listening to the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Mass Mutual. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. The Red Sox are coming up next on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Hey, it's Greg, and some of my favorite nights have great music, great vibes, and of course, Keno. The Mass State Lottery supports your favorite sports pubs, restaurants, and the community one Keno game at a time. So grab your friends, fill out that bet slip, and snag a seat to watch your numbers pop while cheering on the hometown team. With Keno, every night is a home run. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.